Hola, man. I'm trying to get it together, man. I don't know how to work this StreamYard anymore. Everything is different. Nah, I'm not on break. I'm home actually. I didn't go to work today. Yeah, but it's raining. I was actually gonna go live outside, and then it started raining all crazy. I'm trying to figure out how to drop the link. I don't know how to drop the link no more. Yeah, the sky got real dark, and then it just started raining. Oh, you do see the link, but that's not how I used to drop it before, though. So that's it. That's all you gotta do is copy it and put it in the chat. I thought it was different. It was another way that we used to do it. Oh, okay. So how was your day? How take it you off of work now? Yeah, it just seemed different though. Like I forgot. I think it was a different way you put put in the chat. Put the link in the chat. You still at work? That's right. You work from home, don't you? Oh yeah, it's over with. It's September now. It seemed like as you get older, it seemed like the summers go so fast. Like when you was a kid, the summertime seemed like it was forever. 3 months seemed like it was forever. Now them 3 months go so fast. Here in Philly, the kids started back to school today. Well, they start. They started on Monday. Yeah. it's definitely not the same. Especially if you don't do nothing. Oh, okay. Well, I'm here. I'm gonna try to since I'm home. I'll probably be on here for a minute. Yo, what's good? What's good, Sundown? Wait.
You hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay.
I was I was yeah, I was still muted. The sun came back out, but it's still raining.
Yeah, it was
Cause
pouring over here. So, you know what's so funny? Everything is happening around the country at the same time. Heat
yeah,
wave at the time, rain at the same time. That's a little weird to me.
we supposed to get it like it's supposed to be like California and work his way to Midwest, Texas, South, and work his way up to the East Coast. Like,
Exactly. I'm still working while I'm talking to you. What I was
uh,
gonna say,
are
I'm
you
still working.
multitask?
Yeah, well, yeah, I could talk to you and still do and still do my work. I'm almost done. I just want to wrap things up.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you took a day off today? You called out.
Took a day off.
Oh, okay.
Take stuff at the school.
hmm When you gonna be done with that?
November. We graduate. Well, I'll be done. I'll be done in October, but the graduation is in November. I'll be done in October.
Okay, so you don't got that far to go.
I know. Trying to get as many certifications as I can before it's over.
hmm Okay.
But they say you can always go back to get the certs that you didn't get. Like if you paid for it, you can always go back and take the test.
But what kind of certifications are you talking about? Because my son's gonna get one certification, right? And it's like universal, I think. Like he can work anywhere.
Mm, I don't know. I guess that's different from down there to up here. Every the welding is like uh, it's how many types is it? MIG, flux, stick,
hmm
and TIG. That's four different groups of welding, and in each group they have like four. They have four certifications in each group.
Ah, okay.
So right now I'm on this. I'm in the second group, and I just took my last test, so I'll move on to the third group. So
hmm
I just got my last certification today. I went in today and took the test and I passed it. So I'll move on to the next group.
Right. What I was gonna say, Aline. So you hear the buzz, right? What do you think about this? What Fat Joe said.
What do you say now?
He said no. I think he said that the last thing he said that Latinos Puerto Ricans to be exact contributed 50-50 to hip hop. Mm-hmm.
Oh well, yeah.
50-50.
You see everybody talking about it now. Like, I don't know if people don't know the history of hip hop. Like, I'm only 40, 43, and I know the history. Where was Kool Herc from?
Jamaica.
It was made up. Yeah, Jamaica. It was all made up of Caribbeans, Puerto Ricans.
What the argument is
Jamaicans.
that they're focusing on the rapping, right? And there was, I'll send it to you. There was they had a form of rapping like to a beat like that in the 40s. That did happen, but I said rapping is not the only part of hip hop. Hip hop is a culture, right?
Yep. It was made up of the breakdancing, the graffiti, and the rapping, hip hop.
Right.
Culture.
Right.
So a big portion of the hip hop was the breakdancing, and it was a lot of Latinos. It was the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans.
Puerto Rican. No, there was a few. Maybe there was a couple of Cubans and Panamanians, but it was majority Puerto Ricans. And sometimes that's what I'm trying to say, but they're not saying that. They're saying that black people invented it completely. Like,
Nah, that's false.
If we live in a neighborhood and you start rapping and I start dancing to it, and Sundown starts, using two turntables, then who created it? We all did.
Yeah, everybody. It was a collective.
They don't look at it like that. They don't want to look at it like that. Okay, because the rappers are black. Okay, that's true. The majority of the rappers were black. That started it all.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the dancers were Puerto Rican, but there was still some Puerto Ricans in a rap group.
Yeah, there were.
The majority of the DJs were black, but it didn't start off that way. That's why I'm saying it's a collective. I'm not, but you know what I've been saying though, Aline? Because I'm tired of the argument. I just wanted to ask you, because I know that you're not going to be like trying to attack me with it. Is that we don't own it anyway, so I don't even give a fuck. We don't
not
own
anymore.
It.
Yeah,
everybody that's bitching about it hard like that don't even own it. You don't own a piece of it at all. And it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Hey, West Side, and it's gonna belong to
What it do, West Side?
Thing. So huh?
Yeah, that's true. But like people forget about all the Puerto Ricans that contributed. Like the Fat Boys. He wasn't just a big fat light skinned nigga. He was Puerto Rican.
Right, but they're trying to go further back.
Before him.
They're trying to go further back because hip hop technically started.
Yeah.
In 273 was old enough to say anything about it, but it's like, come on now, like it's still a collective effort. I think Fat Joe exaggerated to get people going, and I was watching the Star Show last night, and he was focused on Fat Joe's words, the words that he used, which he was actually right,
In the Bronx, he said he named like what?
Oh, you breaking up? Still breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Fat Joe, I hear him told a story one time about saying his brother was a crate boy for Grandmaster back in the day.
Could be true.
So I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't know why people act the way they act. They just like to hear themselves talk and argue over something stupid. What's up? What's up? You at work? Westside, I heard Westside say he grinding right now.
You working? I'm shocked. He said he was bored. I wish I worked because I was bored.
Yeah, I'd rather stay home and be bored.
Exactly. That's why they are so. Look what Sundown said. He said that's why they're salty. Anyone who says otherwise is moving the goalposts. Jamaicans bought the essence of the beats. Yep. Ricans bought the graffiti and breakdancing. And African Americans bought the... See, Sundown, exactly. Why can't people say it like that? I think it's a fight now And tell me if I'm exaggerating, but I think it's a fight now to claim everything. I'm gonna stake everything because they took so much shit from me that I have to
Mm-hmm.
claim everything for myself. And most of the people bitching about it are not even from New York. They're not even from the Bronx.
How
And
about
Sundown,
that?
he put it perfectly how it actually came together. Because I said hip hop is a culture. It's not just
Yes, it's collective.
a
It's a
beat.
collective. Everybody contributed. It wasn't just one.
That's
You
how it
know.
started, right? And yeah, Latinos, Puerto Ricans didn't stay in it as hard as African Americans did, or even West Indians, right? So, because somebody asked me, well, what happened to the Puerto Ricans then? Why weren't they hitting it hard the way blacks were? And I was like, you know what? I had to think about that. And I was like, there was freestyle music back then, like in the 80s, when hip hop was, between the 80s and the 90s, freestyle music was hard. And I was into it too, but I was into both. So I was like, I know the majority of the singers and the writers and all that stuff were Puerto Rican. So
But that's
maybe
like
that
a Puerto Rican saying, "Oh, we started breakdancing." Like, what is the argument? Like, we we
exact
we the ones that started the breakdancing. That was us.
right.
So
But just
come
to
on.
try to claim it like that, yeah, too. So they make fun of it. They was like, well, show me one Puerto Rican that did what back in the '70s, and they showed them who, there's even videos on it on TikTok, like who was actually instrumental in that at that time. Did they
Mm-hmm.
get big time airplay or the names were put out there like crazy? No, they weren't.
Nah.
I think in the late '70s or early '80s, they weren't hitting like that until the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
Right, the Hill Gang was the one that put it out there, like almost mainstreamed it, and then Run DMC came into play. You
But they
know,
was but they were there though. You can't you can't deny. You can't deny that they was there.
true, but no, they're saying that
What's
you
his
were
name?
yes, like they gave them permission to be in hip hop. Nobody owned it at the time. Nobody did.
What's my man that was what's his name? Crazy Legs. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
can't deny Crazy Legs. Like, that wasn't hip hop what he was doing.
They're saying that he came in at the in the latter, like in the '80s. They're talking about the '70s, and they were still. I got it on my Instagram page. I think you saw it. I mean, it's there.
Okay.
So they were super popular or not that doesn't matter. You're just trying to say that they were never and they didn't have any influence into it, and they did. And even Sundown said like, what he said, oh, the tag like the graffiti, but Sundown it's a collective. It wasn't just graffiti. It wasn't just breakdancing. It wasn't just rapping. It was a combination of all of that plus the style of dress. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a culture. It's like everybody moves like that. It went worldwide.
Yeah. And it was a minute before like the rhyming part came into play. It was more so just the DJing and stuff before the
The
rapping
DJ
part.
and the MC, right? And the MC was the
Yeah.
one that got the crowd hyped. That's what the MCs were.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't really like rapping to a song.
No,
They
it
played the
wasn't.
music. See, that's what I'm saying, Nalim. And see, since we can't have a conversation like this, so people could be like, "Oh yeah, yeah," like okay, now I see how everything comes together. That's all it is. Nobody had no one part could take ownership of that. There was even white boys that were doing graffiti back then.
Mm-hmm. Big, heavy stuff.
One Dominican dude. Oh no, what's his name? The Haitian dude, the famous one. He started off doing graffiti. The one that passed away, the Haitian guy. Start with a B. Best.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a graffiti art. Nobody mentions him.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he was the most famous one. He crossed over. He was with Andy Warhol and all that back in the early '70s, late '80s. Nobody
Talking
talked.
about Basquiat.
Yes, and nobody talks about that. There was movies and stuff for him like that. They conveniently forget that too. Oh, okay, we can't include him because he's Haitian. He's not.
Now look, it's an Italian guy that right where I live at now here, it's Overbrook, West Philly. It's all Little Italy. It was all Italians lived around here back in the day, and it was
Right.
a famous well, he did graffiti all over West Philly, and then he went up to New York and he was tagging all over the place. His name was what was this guy's name? S. His tag was like Esposito was his last name or something like that. And
Oh, right.
he has murals all over, and like they do like a tour now where people go around and look at his murals now.
I believe it. I thought it was another white boy. I think he used Steen, Seen, as in Nancy or M as in Mary. I'm not sure, but he was all over the place too.
Yeah, they have actual tours for this guy. Espo.
Yeah.
Down.
Yo, what's good?
Hey, Sundown.
Chilling, man. See, you right about that, Morena. Like, you can actually have a civil discussion about this and not have to worry about certain people trying to jump down your throat because you have a different opinion.
You know what's worse, Sundown? I'm older than everybody that argues with me about it. You know that, right? And I'm actually from that era. Everybody that's arguing with me about it, then I said, you know what? I don't want to argue about it no more. I don't even care.
Look, you probably was actually there. Like, you actually seen it.
I wasn't
when it was happening.
Early 70s, but I grew up in it. I know who was around. I saw the old heads that started it. I used to see African Bambaataa coming with the whole Zulu nation used to go through the blocks and streets and shit. Like, I seen all that. So it's like, go ahead, son. No,
I was saying I don't have a lot of time, but what I wanted to say was, like, even the legends will tell you that it was a three-way split when it came to hip hop. Each contributed, and you can't take away one from the other, because if you take away one, then the whole essence of it will fall apart, because it was kind of like a symbiotic relationship. You know what I mean? Like, even with the graffiti, like I was saying, if you go back in time, you didn't really see black people doing graffiti like that. Like, even in Harlem, or all the black-owned area, or like the major black populations in New York or in the South or the Midwest, they didn't do graffiti like that. That was a Hispanic thing. That was more of in a sense, it was more of a Cholo culture, because Cholo started that. So when in New York, you know, the Puerto Ricans started doing it, and then they brought the essence of, like, the breakdancing. And then the Jamaicans, like I said, they brought the essence of the rhythm. And then the black people brought the poetry that went along with it. But you can't discredit the other and say, nah, this is just us. It's just us. Because that's been, what do they call it, intellectually dishonest?
Yeah.
Yo, really dishonest and blind. Like she said, half of them probably wasn't even there. Like, is they even in their 30s? Like, they gonna argue.
They're not from New York. They're not from New York. They don't know how Puerto Ricans and blacks grew up at that time. Since the
all
60s.
Together,
Black Panthers, all of it. It was blacks and Puerto Ricans in New York City.
Yeah. Even if you go to the West Coast, you'll see that, like, the Dickie culture and the Chuck Taylors and the high socks, that was a Mexican thing.
Yeah,
that's big in Japan now, Sundown.
Yeah.
Polo culture, yeah. So it's like, you know, and they try to say, oh no, you're appropriating. They don't realize that when you live in the inner cities or you live in poverty in urban areas, and if there's more than one ethnicity there, you're all gonna kind of fall in line. You're all gonna go to school together. You're all gonna kind of listen to the same music. Of course, we're gonna follow American culture because we're in America. And then you talk about for the immigrants, right, or the immigrant children, and then you're gonna put your own little flavor to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how culture evolves. So it's not that somebody's trying to take something from you. I never heard of Puerto Rican say, this is ours. I never heard anybody claim or taking and say it's ours. I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, even you remember the thing called, like, the zoot suits?
Yes.
That was the Hispanic thing too.
A Mexican thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, the zoot suits, all that shit. So it's like the one thing that I always do is, like, you got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? Even if it wasn't by a certain group, if it was made by another group and another group picked it up, you got to give credit where credit is due.
I mean,
so just like the Cambodians, they had their little gangs and everything too. So it's like, not everything was started by us,
right,
in a sense. Other people contributed, and you can't, if you're gonna be like, nah, this is just us, then when they do it, don't go over to their side and be like, well, you know, we help with this too, because nah, you just did that to us. Right. So you can't get mad at us when we do it to you.
I mean, I kind of get it, Sundown. I get it, but it's still wrong, right? I get it that FBA's ADOs, however you want to say it, feel disenfranchised in this country. I get it that they feel that immigrants come here and supersede them. I get it that they feel like everybody's against us. They come over here and they automatically can't stand us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that, and I understand that. Yes, slavery happened here, and they're the descendants of the slaves. I get it, and everything that their ancestors went through. I get it. I get it. But that's not my fault. My ancestors in Cuba went through slavery. I'm not dumping that on nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that would be like you having an issue. That would be like your people being from Cuba, and then them coming to America and having an issue with FBAs that were slaves here because of what happened to your people in Cuba.
yeah, why would they care?
You would be like, yo, that ain't have nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? Like, if we said that to you, then you could flip that back on us and say, well, this had nothing to do with you. Mind your business. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. So it's like I kind of get angry, then I get a little ignorant sometimes. That's why I said I'm gonna leave it alone because technically I don't care. I mean, 'cause I don't give a shit about hip hop now anyway. I like the '90s hip hop. That's in my era. And again, we don't own it. None of us do. No West Indians, no blacks, no Americans. Nobody owns hip hop. Like you know who. So
People that own hip hop, last name is Bird.
exactly. So we're arguing over it for nothing. Like we're getting upset and trying to you trying to coin ownership. And you know what else I said come down to? But I get it because that culture is worldwide. But you're holding on to entertainment. That's the only way you're viewed in this country as entertainment. Why don't you try to coin something that's more positive to me? I think that hip hop is black, but I'm just thinking like something more positive. Something that has a bigger impact than just entertainment than just playing basketball. Huh?
No, I agree. I'm listening.
No, I think Aleem's trying to say something. I can't hear him. I can't hear you, Aleem, if you're trying to say something.
Can it still be considered hip hop?
What?
Now?
I wouldn't consider this shit hip hop today.
Not to me. I don't agree with that.
I would say this, man. If FBAs really, really want to take up a musical issue, it should be rock and roll. It should be rock and roll, and it should be jazz because that is completely.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see the thing that they had about Elvis, where Elvis got his whole style from? He sounds
Chuck Berry. He got it from Chuck Berry.
This other singer.
Exactly. The
guy sounds just like him. He sounds just like he stole his style completely. Yep. The voice, the shaky.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that. Did you hear about what what's his name? The blind one. Why am I forgetting his name? The blind.
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. You hear what Ray Charles said about it? Like a lot of people said, listen, and at a time, there was once like, a time where they would take black artists and they would put a white band on the cover to sell the music because people didn't want to see that.
Sundown, you see what you're saying right now, Sundown? They won't ever, I haven't seen it in these YouTube streets, they won't ever pull that out, but they'll be quick to jump on a freaking Hispanic every freaking time. Because we're the ones closest to you. So when a white person does it to you, it's okay. You don't got that energy. You don't have that same energy for your white counterpart. I'm serious.
Because they scared you. They scared they got an innate fear of those, but they'll go after other people that they perceive as weaker than them. But yeah, they won't say a single thing to the real architects behind taking over people's genre.
Yeah, keep that same energy to the ones that are controlling all this shit. They
definitely controlling it.
Energy too. Yeah, we don't control nothing, but again, man, we don't own shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, the whole narrative is all messed up, man. I don't know why.
Facts. It is.
I saw like 5 streams on it already, and I'm just in the clouds, like, oh. But I'm gonna leave it alone because Fat Joe kind of did fuck it up. He didn't communicate it properly.
Is this new? Yeah. Him speaking about it is new or is old?
I think that was a few days ago. I think that was before the whatever award show happened.
Okay.
I think
that's recent.
Yeah, but I think he did that just to
get it stirred up.
Yeah, I think that because he knows that. No, it didn't go down the way he said it. It was a collective. The way I've always communicated, it's always been a collective effort. Everybody played their part, but there was only 3 ethnicities that played their part in that. Chinese people can't in Chinatown can't say they did it. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, they can't say that. Filipinos can't say that. East Indians or Africans can't even say that. That was in the Bronx, and that was blacks, West Indians, and Puerto Ricans.
That's
and
it.
They all played part in it to make it the culture that it is today.
And
What it
it's
used
like,
to be.
well,
What it is
yeah,
today.
but like it's like each culture that added to it, you can hear like the what they call it, their influences, the influences from each different like culture. Like it can't be denied. I don't understand why people just so hateful about it,
Yeah.
but
No, I get it. I get why. Well, they're not. To me, they're not going about it right. But I can't. You know, you have agitators who play on people's insecurities, or maybe insecurity is not the right word. What do you call that? The fact that you just feel like you haven't been recognized the way you need to, and your ancestors have been here for over 400 years. So I get that, right?
mm-hmm.
So you want to stake claim on everything. Hell, they got this big indigenous movement, and they're trying to say that the indigenous people are not the indigenous people that they are.
Yeah.
Come on, man! Like that's not cool. Like that's not cool. Like so the ones that are on reservations, what they're they're not indigenous. The Mexicans that are here, that they moved the border on them, they're not native to the land. Because I think they mentioned that today too. That
Yeah, I just was recently heard something about the Mexicans that were here and they didn't leave. Like when they moved
from
the border.
California through Texas. If you go from east to west, that's
New
that's
Mexico,
how it went down, right?
New Mexico, Texas, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Arizona, yeah, all of that. So it's like, they brought up that Cholo guy, and
It's cool. Now I know you was
somebody
busy,
said
man.
somebody said that they don't want blacks to get reparations, and then that's not how he said it.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I was listening to that.
But he was saying basically that if they get it, they saying that they want their land back. If blacks get reparations, then they got to get something too. And they're saying go get it from the Spanish government. No, it's not the Spanish government that kicked them off their land. It was America that they the Spanish-American War that happened here. Like, and the people that were here already, they got moved over. They got displaced. Like, they got made aliens in their own country.
Were you on? I think you was on Fighters Live. He just went live. Was it last weekend?
Well, yeah, I felt bad. I felt so bad for that guy, the one that was from Texas.
Yeah, Well, with the other guy that was like, he made a point. I mean, I get it, and I wish. I mean, if it was possible that they could do something, but I don't think they'll ever do it. So it's just like he's saying everybody else has gotten, money, and the Jews and the Asians, and everybody else got stuff, but we're the only ones that didn't get nothing. I don't think they'll ever. I don't think they're ever going to give us anything.
The Jews, the Japanese, and
Koreans come over here. Well, in Philly, they come and they can start a business and don't have to pay taxes.
Now that's different. That's something to fight for, right? That right there. But the reparations that you're talking about, all of those groups got it in real time.
See, yeah, yep.
So, and I'm not saying that the ancestors of slaves don't deserve anything, but whoever went through Jim Crow, if they're still alive, they should get some money.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I believe it's
generation.
I believe like if they're gonna do the ancestors of slaves, it's not just African Americans or black people that were slaves. So you have the African Americans, you got the Latinos, you got Irish. It was other groups.
Maybe the Irish and Americans. You can't count us here because the slaves that my ancestors that were slaves are not from this country. So I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't for reparations in this country.
But not here. But if they would say, but you were born here though. But if they would say, Puerto Rico and DR, everybody, I feel like, man, if they could do that, it would be decent. But it's not going to happen though. It's just
Spain is broke, so Spain couldn't pay off anybody.
No,
Spain couldn't pay. Yeah. So I know for us, for let's say Latinos, that's not. I don't think that's a reality at all. Now for African Americans, I'm just saying like. Again, the people that got paid reparations was in real time. So what is it that you're looking for now? You should be lobbying for that. That's what I said. Like, you don't have any. You got race baiters on YouTube, but you don't got anybody putting in a real effort. Who's in Washington D.C. trying to lobby for reparations for African Americans? Who's in Washington D.C. trying to lobby for certain rights and privileges for African Americans?
Man, you hear it. You'll hear him speak about it, but then nothing like comes about. Like nothing.
That's all they do. They're just aggravating people. They're creating dissension. They're doing, and you know what the white people are doing? They're looking at us and they're laughing. No, they're all against each other. We're not doing nothing because they're gonna kill them. They're gonna kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
like I said, it would be nice. I mean, it's a thought, but I don't believe I'll ever see it.
I know.
I don't believe it'll ever happen. So
it might, because then they I think I heard they paid somebody.
It was one state. It was one state that did something. It was like, it wasn't like they outright just gave them money. I forget exactly what they did. It was something, but they did something for the descendants of slaves in this town.
Oh, well, if they do that, then they have to do it for everybody. If they did it there, then they have to do it for.
But that was their governor. That was.
Oh, that was separate. It wasn't federal.
Yeah, it was state. It was. I remember, I don't know all the details, but I remember hearing it though. And it was like on the news and online and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Wow.
And what would people do? What would you do with the money? Like, what would you like?
I think, not to be cold, but I think of, Dave Chappelle. Do you remember Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, that was funny.
Big 40s and Newports.
Yeah, the whole truck of Newports. Yeah.
Yeah, but what would happen? The thing is, because that there's no ownership in this country with ADOS. So if let's say they did give you $50,000. No, let's say $300,000. Right, $300,000. It would go right back in their pockets anyway.
Right back to them, yeah, because
you're not going to spend it in your own neighborhood because you don't have any ownership of anything in your own neighborhood. So
not like back in the day, like
exactly
in different places, Harlem, like where it was like
anywhere where it was an enclave of ADOS, the money.
When everybody here, I could speak and say about Philly, where everybody was doing them PPPs and all the mall. It's a high end mall here in this. It's right outside of Philly. It's called King of Prussia Mall. And they got like all the the Louis, the Gucci, the Burberry. They said the line to get in the Gucci and Louis store was so long. It was like wrapped around the mall. Like these, like how they said on there, Dave Chappelle, you should never gave these N-words money. Like they didn't know how to act. Like they was giving the money away.
Wow.
Not doing nothing good with the money. Spending it on clothes. Going to the markets, buying up all the crabs.
They scammed it, and then they didn't do anything with it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm like, if I would have got 20 racks, I'm gonna put it into some good use. I'm not gonna spend it on like this materialistic stuff. Like they went straight to the mall and bought clothes and jewelry and dumb shit.
Wow.
The line was so long. I'm like, damn. You couldn't even get in the Burberry store.
See, if I got somebody that wouldn't have been the first thing I thought of. They should have.
No. Business.
Yes, business. House. Yeah, I would have put property.
Yep.
Like who's that? That's what I'm saying. So it's like you demanding all this. You're not saying let me set up courses for us in the event that we get these reparations, what we can do, how we're going to pool our money together. No, like nobody's putting nothing out like that. Like, something that takes some serious, that means that you're taking all of this really serious. No, I'm just bitch about hip hop and tell the Africans stop calling me a kata and tell the Caribbean people they should go back to their shithole country. So all you're doing is acting like you're oppressors. You're acting exactly like your oppressors, but you don't have nothing tangible to work with. So you're just talking.
Yeah.
Making people because I'm sorry, and I always say this too, Aline. Every immigrant comes here with a preconceived notion of African Americans. Is it right? No, it's not right at all. But that's the media, and that's how America promotes black people to others.
I
Like
heard,
if you,
I heard from I don't know how true this is, but I heard from like an African, and he like coming over here before they were able to what is it they have to get like the visa and all that type stuff. They like gave them like literature or made them watch like videos of like this is how the African Americans act over here and stay away from them. Like they give them like this bad like representation of us before they even like step out of the place, like before they even hop the plane. They think negative. So
yeah, I don't, So that's what it is too. So I'm like, so then again, why you focusing on Latinos when they're not the only ones doing it?
mm-hmm.
Give the same energy. Give the Muslims the same energy. Give the Russians the same energy. Like, I don't know.
It's somebody that's so close to you. It's like you in the house, you raise your family is close, and your cousins is always over. You fighting with your cousins.
Yep.
But when somebody outside mess with you, you don't got no energy. You ain't trying to do nothing.
Exactly. So I think it's not cool, and I'm like, I didn't grow up with black people like that. Like the ones I hear on YouTube talking that shit. Those are not the people I grew up with.
Yeah, the Bronx. Back when you was growing up, everybody was together. It was on top of each other. Everybody was close.
We still are. It ain't all that dissension that you hear on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's not like that.
You might have cracked jokes and bust on each other and said hurtful things, but you said something about them. They said something about you. Y'all was playing. Yeah. If not the next day, a couple hours later, y'all was playing together. Like.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't like when people do that. But it is what it is.
But yet you tune in and listen and watch.
Well, I'll listen. Now I just don't participate in it. I'll just listen to it, shake my head, speak out loud, and say what I gotta say. But I'm not getting in it no more because I was getting angry, and I'm like, what am I getting angry for? I'm not a rapper. I'm not, a producer. I don't own shit, so I don't make it. I'm just pissing myself off for nothing. And then again, I'm talking to people who, ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look at this interview. Fat Joe's always saying crazy shit, but I gotta hear him. I gotta hear what he said.
I think I can send it to you. Let me see.
Yeah, I gotta hear what he was talking about. Yeah, like the one that I sent you. That's old when he was talking about the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, the percentage of Africans that was in Cuba and Puerto Rico and all that.
He got that wrong too. Come on, Fat Joe. I think he'd be drunk when he be talking. I know he means what I know what he was trying to say, but he got that wrong too. I heard what he was saying.
He was wrong. He was wrong. He got the numbers wrong. But
you know what I think he does when he gets fucked up? He goes on. He starts going online and starts talking shit. It's like, come on, Poppy, do it when you're sober. Don't do it when you're drunk.
Yeah, he be getting sucked up.
Sundown said, if we get reparations, I would be like, yo, we got money from the government. I'll buy the land, you buy the cattle, we can become ranchers, yes, and build generation. Exactly, Sundown, but nobody's
they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do
every
that.
Man for himself. Every man for himself. That's number one. Number two, they're not thinking about generational wealth. They're thinking about right now. They're living day by day. Yeah. That's the problem.
Right for now. We going right now. Gucci cars, jewelry, trips. Everybody was going to Tulum. On my timeline, everybody was during the pandemic too. Everybody was in Tulum in Puerto Rico. Everybody. This shit was crazy. They raised the price up on the crabs in the market because everybody was buying up all the crabs.
Really? Where's this Fat Joe? I thought I sent it to you, Alain. When I sent it to you?
If you sent it to me, I'll look at it later. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it when it first came out.
I sent it to somebody because you could have heard it and played it. Oh, as a matter of fact, I know who got it. It's on YouTube. Who has it? I think Star from Star and Buck Wild.
Oh yeah, he loves stirring up shit.
Well, he had a stream about it yesterday, but he's an equal opportunity hater, so I like him. He's not like picking sides, but
You remember? I remember he was when he was in New York. And he said that shit about Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
They ran into the station. Dame Dash. I don't know if he beat him up. I don't know if he was just waiting for him. But then after that, he came to Philly. He left New York. He got fired. I think they Jay and them said don't play our pick. Some shit they said, and they fired him. Then he came to Philly. he, he's a fact.
But he's like he could say I started all this shit. Like he does shit like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Fat. I mean, the Star Jones. No, what's his name?
Star and Buck.
Yeah,
It was Star and Buck Wild. It was Star. His name is Star. His
yeah, I
partner was
remember saying it then. Yeah.
yeah. Star and Buck Wild was the show. Then it was just him by himself. But he was making fun of Aaliyah the plane crashing and shit.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they said Dame beat him up. I don't know. I think they said Dame Dash beat him up when he left out the studio, out the station.
Oh wow. Really?
Mm-hmm. Shock radio. He was trying to be like the Black Howard Stern. Say anything.
I'm gonna send it to you on
So you get your ass beat up. Now you watch what you say.
Yeah, I just sent it to you, Alan. So
Okay.
if you want to play it, I don't know if you can do it while you're on the phone or you can
Yeah, I have to be on the computer on my phone. I'm sitting outside.
Oh, okay.
I probably could. I got it. This whole StreamYard is like it changed. I'm telling you, it's not the same. Like I was trying to play around with it.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it was like before.
What do you say? What is Sundown talking about?
Let me see. Because Sundown makes sense though. It's like and nobody's advocating for that, right? Like they don't have like a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X to get people together for something like that.
That's why they killed them. If they were still alive, just imagine if they were still alive. They killed them.
Yeah, and I hear that too, Aline. Is like I don't know what to say to that, but it's like but that's what you need, like, because
that's why they're not here more. They took they separated us. They took the man out of the house. They gave the women all these incentives not to have men in the house.
I heard of that.
If Uncle Mark or Martin was still alive, it would be a lot different. Things would be a lot different. It would be more structured, I think. In Africa, and the African American household, like the Black Panthers and all that stuff. Like it just everything just got all fucked up.
I mean, it was all done by design, right? So I get that, but you know,
Blood Moon.
I don't know. Blood Moon's asking what's the topic. Don't tell her because she's gonna get upset when she hears what we're talking about. You know how Blood Moon is.
Oh yeah. Well, you started it. You started it.
Down, Malcolm. I know, but Blood Moon wasn't in the chat then. What do you want to talk about, Blood Moon?
Yeah, Malcolm was serious, man. He was, but that's another reason why they got him out of here, especially when his views changed. Especially when he saw what he being taught was BS, and he came back from he made Hajj and he came back and was willing to start working with the whites, and his speech changed. It was before he was just a hateful black man, and when he came back, they said we gotta get rid of him.
Because he started seeing shit. He got out the United States and started seeing stuff for what it really was.
It's like kind of like he got like basically he was blackballed for a minute. He was like blackballed. They said he can't do no speakings. He can't do no lectures nowhere. He was like
because of the power he had. They wanted to suppress it. That's what.
Yeah.
But look what Blood Moon wants to talk about. She says, "Stop blaming women for the irresponsibilities of men. They made their own choices to be bums." Okay, so elaborate on that, Blood Moon, so we can speak about it.
Yeah. Okay. Stop blaming.
Elaborate.
I'm not saying it's not the woman's fault, but if you tell a young that got 2-3 kids that you can have this nice house, this nice apartment, but your baby father can't live with you, and we're gonna give you money.
But, Aline, okay, so I can only speak of about what Aline was battling about. Oh, okay, because I know people who use the system and they still have parts.
A lot of them do, but if they get caught,
but before, when in its infancy, when they offered all those programs, it was easier to get caught than now.
Yeah.
Because I know people who have done that all the time. When I was growing up in the Bronx, I remember seeing all the ladies waiting for their welfare checks and food stamps, and they all had husbands.
Mm-hmm.
They all had husbands, so they were playing the system. Like, so why do you want to condemn your baby daddy when you guys could live? You can still work because their husbands work and still play off the system. I mean, I'm not trying to promote that. I'm just saying that that's what it was. Like, that's how they did it. So
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people that did it and got away with it, but it's some people that got caught too. I remember hearing stories, and my kid's mom, my daughter's mom, had to hide my shoes and stuff when the people would inspect the house. So like,
see,
I know
she didn't kick you out.
Nah, she didn't kick me out, but we wasn't married neither. So
yeah, but you played it. That's what I'm trying to say. You played it,
yeah.
So it made things a little bit easier. If you were working and you're still getting that extra money, then you come up together, but not all this dissension. Now, Blood Moon said the baby's father should have gotten a job, and she wouldn't need the government money. That could happen too, or just say, "Hey, let's play the game."
But who's like, I got a cousin, like, he had his own apartment. He had a nice 2-bedroom apartment. He was good for himself. He messed with a girl that was on Section 8. He got approved to get this house and these refurbished projects in South Philly. And I think her rent was going to be his rent was like, back then, his rent was like $550. So now her rent is $20. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave all this and I'm gonna go stay $20 spot. It's nicer and we gonna save money. I think that's how they look at it, but
that's how I think you should be looking at it. But
that's how they used to look at it. But it shouldn't be a long term thing. You should be stacking like then they break up and then she kicks him out and now he assed out. Now he don't got nowhere to stay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's against each other.
Yeah.
Just like and I think that was fake. The woman with
the cooking thing.
Which one?
The one that Westside had. You seen that with the girl? He come home.
Oh, that one. That one. That was. And the lady that
just for views. Just like the guy that you see, he was claiming that he went to McDonald's and he had the box and he took a picture and all the bumps was on his arm and his hand. Now they shown that was fake. They shown that was fake.
That's what I'm saying. People are doing stuff for views and then get mad when people talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all putting yourselves out there like that, and you get mad when people talk about it. Or if they have like, come on now. But yeah, that lady with the cooking thing. Well, did you listen? Did you?
I seen some of it. I couldn't really. I was at work. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw some of it.
I mean, I'm just like, everybody said that she was cheating on him. And I didn't even know to think to do that because I'm just like, dude, she don't know how easy she got it. Most women nowadays, you need 2 incomes.
Yeah, and she was working. From what I heard she was working, but
she ain't no bills.
She worked home.
Right. So if he said, so she was working because she wanted to work because he said he pays all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So why he can't have dinner when he come home? Like, does that?
I mean, realistic. I've been in a situation and. Even with my wife or past relationships, it ain't gonna be cooked meals every day. But I mean, if she know he was working 13, 12 hours, like she could at least order some pizza or something, chicken or something, have something waiting for him when he come home.
If you pay all the bills, he gets a hot meal. If you paid all the bills, he gets a meal. If I don't have to pay,
I pay all the bills. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know that every day it's not gonna be food cooked every day, but damn, at least 3 days out of the week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was just her response that was crazy.
That's why Bipolar and them was saying that she was cheating. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, her response is crazy. She said, "I ain't your mama."
Right. And it's funny because I picked up my son from work and I was like, my son got a hot meal. I mean, he's my kid. I'm the one that cooks in the house. Like, and he's gonna have expectations.
Yeah,
when
you
he,
said the standards. You said standards for him.
and I grew up like that. That's what I'm saying. So I said sometimes it's culturally too, because why would you say that? But no,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I
know.
seen my mom and dad like that, and then it was like they sometimes. I mean, not to say he did it all the time, but they would take turns. Like some days he would cook, some days she would cook. But it wasn't always a hot meal every single day though. Like,
Right.
you gotta be realistic. It's not gonna be every day.
Well, as long as they were okay with that, then that's fine, right?
Yeah.
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 Uh,
What's going on, Blood Moon?
Blood Moon got bored.
She dipped on us. Or she might be doing something.
What time is it? 7:00. Jesus, time goes by so fast. Nothing,
It's
you guys.
It's 7.
On the panel, make it interesting, Blood Moon. Make it interesting, because you wanted to talk about a boring topic. This
She
gender.
want the ratchet. She want the crazy rowdy.
Aline needs to get more people to come on his thing so we can make it real ratchet. What we was talking about was ratchet before, but you don't like that topic either. But had we had some FBAs here, they would have been a little bit upset with me, Sundown, and Aline.
Oh man, yeah, they definitely would have been mad at you. I see what you call. He just posted something about it. The Radical just posted something about it, showing radical Latino.
Yeah.
He just posted something about the Latinos in hip hop.
Yeah, that's gonna get ratchet.
Yeah, he had, he be having them over there though too though. What's my man from Chicago? What's his name? He be on your panel sometimes.
Oh, Rakim.
Rakim, and they was all over there. I listened for like a second.
It's happening now?
No, this was last week.
Oh yeah, I remember from the last time.
Yeah. She said she don't want to talk about nothing. I'm just saying, Love Moon. Like, we just talking, that's all. Ain't no topic. You give us a topic. Everybody must be occupied right now. I sent the link out.
Oh, I think Mundo has a stream. I think everybody's on Mundo's stream.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Probably so then. So I didn't even know he was live. I wouldn't have went live.
Yep, that's what we try to say, that Malcolm was half black, half Caribbean, so they try to claim the Caribbean side. He was raised, well, no, he wasn't even raised by his mama, because I think
he was in foster care and all that. He was in group homes and all that.
The ward of the state.
Yep. Him and Red Fox. They said they was best friends when they was little. They was young.
Where's Mundo?
Mundo is live right now.
Yeah, he had like 20 people in his chat. Yeah, everybody that would be at your stream is over there. Curls there, Kevin, Big Scoop.
Oh, no wonder. Then they would they gonna hit me and say, "Oh man, I didn't know you was live." But I wouldn't have went live if I knew he was live.
I don't know. I think he came on after you did. He came on after. Yeah.
What's the title? What they talking about?
Oh, I have no clue. It just says Galactica activating. What the hell? I don't know. Let me see. Galactica activated, keeping it a stack.
Yeah, most of they say, you ever hear how they say most of the most radical, the most outspoken, like, African American black leaders is always mixed or light skin.
Yeah, and it's true.
UEP, Malcolm, like, there's so many of them.
Adam Clayton Powell.
Yeah, what's the guy with the fro with the glasses? What's his name? What's his name, man? My mom used to always talk about him. I can't think of his name right now. But they always mix. They always light skin.
Every last one of them, yeah. Every last one of them. If they don't tell, I don't know. I'm just like, keep that same energy for the ones for your oppressors.
they not worried about us because we out here killing each other. There's so much crime and like, was it that other last time I was live? Like we had like seven. We had like seven. They call them GSWs. We had like seven come in at one time.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like all they doing is shooting, fighting, shooting. All over this. It's crazy. So I can imagine New York. Like New York is bigger than Philly.
Most of the leaders only half black, yeah. So what do you think that means, Blood Moon, since most of the leaders are only half black?
Like why? Yeah, why are they so like aggressive or outspoken and like they got like a chip on their shoulder? They got a chip on their shoulder.
Nobody cares about the other people's communities. Everybody only cares about their own. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. Until it trickles down, like right now in Philly, how they had the heroin opioid epidemic, so-called epidemic. Like, but what about when it was crack? Like when crack was out in the 80s, it was just like
that was people of color. I didn't give a shit about that.
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't an epidemic. It wasn't these people need help because you see all the white people using that heroin and them pills and stuff. It's in the suburbs. Now they got commercials and clinics all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Nobody cares about that. Only when it happens to them do they care. They're like, oh my god. So.
Yeah, that crack was crazy though.
You broke up a little bit.
I said back in the 80s, the crack era was crazy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The half white part helps them get educated, and the admixture makes them feel like they don't belong on either side. Yeah, so they're aggressive about it. True.
That makes sense.
True.
That makes sense. Probably got picked on, and
That's another thing too that makes me that I'm just like so FBAs. I'm like so you talking about foundational Black Americans, but then you want to exclude biracial people too, but then you're married to a biracial person. Like it's so hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be pro-Black? I think we had this discussion, right? Can you be pro-Black and marry a non-Black person?
It's a few of them like that. I think
most of them are like that.
It's a few of them that are like vocal that are so supposedly pro-Black and they married to white women.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking you though, right? Like, isn't that a contradiction? Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, you love who you love, but like, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I thought you would love Black.
Yeah, that's just I don't understand. I'm trying to think. No, I see his face, but I can't think of his name. But he's like vocal, like Black this, Black that, and married to a white woman.
On YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, social media. One of those. Is it one of those? You ever see the documentaries, Hidden Colors?
Oh, you talking about Tariq Nasheed? He's married to a biracial woman.
Okay.
But and her mom is Jewish.
Okay.
Go figure. You can't be pro any race and date out. That's what I figured, Sundown, but I figured that's a contradiction. But,
She said you choose the person. What?
You don't love who you love. You choose the person before the love happens.
So just before you just choose them just because they're white? Like, what?
He's right.
I don't know about that one.
What the hell? What is this? Unique WA.
It might be Tariq Nasheed. I think it is him.
It is Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah, exactly. It's him. Yeah, it's him.
That's exactly who you talking about.
Him and what's the other guy? Umar. Dr. Umar.
He married. No, I think he married Black or those.
Yeah,
two
he married. He got two wives. He married them at the same time too. It's crazy.
Lemon said, yes, exactly. You choose. She said, exactly. You choose because they are white. Stop lying. Who was lying?
I don't have a white wife. I don't know. I'm gonna go out and get me a white
But
woman.
is that a thing for black men? Can you speak on that? I always wondered that, like, and I won't even just say black men. I'll say most men of most cultures, they all think the white woman is the prize.
No, they don't.
That's speaking for you, but have you noticed that with other black men?
Yeah, it depends on like where they from though too though. Like more suburban, like more like.
No, I've seen even because I'm thinking athletes, right? As soon as they get money, boop, white girl. Well, I mean, they're there, right? Of course, they're gonna money, but they don't say I don't want to be with her because I know if I was broke, she don't want to be with me. But they'll get with the white woman because they figure the white woman's the prize.
Okay. I can't do my. They don't like. You ever taste? I mean, I know it's probably some that could do it, but I don't know any.
Yeah.
But you had a white woman fried chicken. Like if you can cook for me, like we got to go out to eat all the time. We got to eat quiche and shit like that. I'm nah.
Well, you see the half white woman with the actress that she was making that fried chicken. That was disgusting.
Yeah, like I know it's some white people that could cook though. I know it's some. I ain't gonna say they can. I know it's some white Southern.
Yeah, Southern they can.
Like Southern, like Paula Deen. Now she could cook.
They cook just like black.
I went to her restaurant it's in Savannah, Georgia. She could cook. Yes, Paula Deen.
See, Sundown's always said that. Now, Sundown's always stuck to that. Like,
what'd he say?
Let me see what mine.
Yeah. I can't eat shit all the time, Sundown. That's every once in a while, yeah. But you want some soul food? You want some chicken?
I don't know about French. Italian, yes. I don't know about French blood moon. Italian, definitely. I like Italian food.
Yeah, I like Italian food too, but not every day though.
French, don't know.
Not all the time, blood moon. I can't eat shit all the time.
She says she loves French food. What do you like? What's your favorite dish? Don't tell me escargot.
Yeah, what's a French dish besides what is a French dish?
Or what's that the fish eggs they like to eat? Caviar.
No.
Nasty shit.
She said she loved French food.
I like French bread, but I don't like French food.
I can't never say I had like a dish, a French dish.
We probably didn't. Oh, she's gonna mention something. We're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I can eat Italian, yeah, every single day." Yep, definitely.
Yeah, you're gonna get fat too. all that pasta.
But French, nah. Oh man, what's today? Tuesday.
Yeah, the 30th, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got off on Monday too. The holiday.
Right. That's what I'm looking forward to. Blood Moon, you go to work soon, right? When does school start in New York City?
Down here, it started on Monday.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like, that's odd. Like they normally use the kids to start after Labor Day. Now they making them start before Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
Your son back in school already though.
Yeah, he started.
Y'all used down south and they go to school early anyway compared to up here. August, the middle of August.
Oh, okay.
She went back on the 7th. Oh shit. Damn.
But oh man.
Yeah, I like Italian food too.
I'm about to ask my son to order some Chinese food. Yeah, I don't feel like cooking. This is not good though, but I don't feel like cooking.
How's the Chinese food down there?
There's only like 2 places that we would actually order from, and it's decent. But it's not like New York. Just like pizza, like there's only one place here, and they call it like by the slice, New York by the something like that, because it's similar to
Really?
New York. So yeah, because out here they only have like Caesars, Papa John's, you know.
They don't?
That's all they have really.
Oh, okay. So they don't have like the
The pizzeria?
yeah.
No, no, they don't.
Yeah, those chain restaurants like the Papa John's and Pizza Hut down, they not good no more.
They
And
always no.
back in the day, like you got Pizza Hut, you was like, Pizza Hut is good. Not no more.
Yeah.
It's so many like local like pizzeria places that pizza is better than them franchise places.
Yeah. Now, where's my card? Because I don't want to hear it. I'm definitely hungry now.
In New York, pizza, there's a lot of pizza places up there.
In Philly, you know what? I never had a Philly cheesesteak. That's what I've never ever had.
Really?
Never.
Never. Wow, I'll go for a cheesesteak right now.
And
I'm pretty sure they got somebody in Texas that got a cheesesteak restaurant that's from Philly. It's gotta be
like in Houston, but not out here. Not where I'm at.
Yeah, it's gotta be one down there somewhere. Not too
I would say Houston, Dallas, the more
populated.
Yeah. More city. Oh wow. Fuck it, let's use this. Hold on a second, Eileen.
Mm-hmm. But what grades you teach again? Oh, okay. But you got all new students from last year?
And I'm back.
All right.
Man, nobody else could have come up.
Blood Moons. She ain't coming up. Who else? Probably Sundown in the chat.
Sundown, I think he's still working. Lamu's not gonna come up on the panel.
Okay.
Give a second.
Everybody on social media posting a kids' first day of school pics.
Oh, okay.
And they back to school clothes and all that.
She's good. And my mother didn't teach past the 3rd grade. She said after the 3rd grade, the kids got really.
I just about to say, I was wanting to ask Blood Moon. Like, I know that kids is crazy, man. I could imagine how they be acting. They don't listen. Like,
That's how I see it.
what'd you say?
That's how I saw it. They used to be bad on the trains too. When I used to take the train to work, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I remember my mom said she wanted to be a teacher. I told her, nah, you don't want to be no teacher because I'm gonna have to come up there. The kids is very, very respectful. They don't listen. They gonna cuss you out.
Yeah, they weren't nice. They are. I mean, I don't know. And you got to blame the parents for that. Like, just kids just don't respect their elders anymore.
Yeah. We was just talking about that the other day. Like this generation, these young kids, like they don't have no respect. They don't respect nobody.
Right.
So it's like how they don't look up to nobody. They don't, you know. Back in the day, we was doing our stuff. We was running around. We seen adults, or we seen like somebody, like we gave them respect. Like we didn't curse around, you know. Like they don't care. They just saying anything all loud. Like
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because we used to do stuff, and as soon as we saw adults, or I wouldn't do whatever that we weren't supposed to do, we didn't do it outside, like so we would get caught. Like,
yeah, and then you don't know if that person, like the other thing was, you don't know if that person know your family, like, or know your mom or your dad, like, or somebody see you and tell on you.
And get in trouble.
Yeah, these kids don't get they don't got no. They don't, man. They shit is on. They it's crazy. A young dude came in the hospital. He was there for like 3 months. He got shot. He got shot in his leg. Right, 16 years old, and they removed it. And I guess it was his negligence because the leg where he got an infection in his leg. Somehow I don't know, some fragments was still in there or something, but he got like infection. So his leg has swelled up. His leg got real big. But I go Fulana. His leg got real big, and so he comes back to the OR, and they like, we gotta relieve the pressure. So they cut his leg, and the infection spread. Right, his foot turned like gangrene. His foot turned black. Fingers tips turned black. They had to remove his leg. They cut his leg off, like I think above the knee, because the way the infection spread, and they had to cut some of his fingers too. So his whole, like, I'm talking to him like, yo man, you still here, you can still live, like, don't, like, you could just tell he was so sad and depressed. He was like, I'm done with the streets. Oh, now you done with the streets. Now you done with the streets. You done lost your leg and lost 4 of your fingers.
Hey, Fulana. So my grandfather died because of gangrene. Oh wow.
Yeah, they removed it because it was spreading. Like, it was. I looked at his foot when he came, because I wasn't there when he got the surgery when they removed the bullet. But when he came, I'm like, what's wrong with his foot? His foot was black, like black. Like, remove it, and it spread. So they had to cut off above the knee, like.
Right.
So now, you know, of course, his family, like, we suing. Whose fault is it that he got that infection?
Now, how does that happen?
Or could they have prevented it? I think it was because he neglected it and he didn't come to the hospital like sooner. He waited till it got like real bad.
But I'm saying, was that like from a cut? Like, how does that happen?
Nah, he got shot, and I'm thinking like a fragment or something. I don't know. But when they removed the bullet, it somehow he got an infection in the wound. I mean, that happens. That's why they had like these things, like they're supposed to like drain the infection, drain your blood, and get the infection out, especially after surgeries. I don't know what he did when he went home, but she said it sounded like it's his. I think it was his fault too. I think it was his family's fault. Like, he kept putting it off. But He
Wait a
man,
minute, who you
he's
talking about? That's what I'm saying. I'm lost. Who you guys talking about?
Fulana said she think it was his fault.
Who you guys talking about?
The little boy I told you that got shot and they had to remove his leg because. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. And that remove his leg because it got gangrene. So he got shot. They never took him to the hospital.
They did take him to the hospital after they removed the bullet. Somehow it got infected and he didn't come and get it fixed. So.
Okay. So it was carelessness probably of the parents, right? Was the boy young?
Yeah, he was 16.
Oh no, no, he was old enough to know that. Because you got to tell somebody at that age. Like my son, I don't know nothing unless he tells me now.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I mean, I know like as men, we put stuff off, but you should have seen his leg, how fat his leg was.
Oh man,
It looked like you ever see Nutty Professor? Like it was like about to pop. That's how fat it got. She said it's a little boy fault.
By the time the kids tell you it's too late. Yeah, Falana, you know how it is. I used to do that. I didn't tell my mother nothing, especially my mother, because for anything she used to send us to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I would not. I didn't have to. I wouldn't tell her.
If she find out, you going to the doctors, right?
Yeah. So let's say it was something like that. If I was I mean, I got the 16-year-old has to take some part in it too, because maybe if he would have complained, his parents would have took him, or he could have took himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't say anything. So,
Yeah. He was in the hospital for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because they had to keep operations. They had to this time now they want to make sure the infection is 100% gone before they send them home.
Yeah, but they already took a piece of his leg off, right?
Yeah, but after that now they want to make sure there's no infection in there at all. So that's why they kept him there.
Oh, I thought the infection was due to negligence.
Yeah, the first time. So now they had to do a second operation. Mm-hmm. Well, actually they did like 3 operations on him.
Right.
Because they got the bullet out and then he was gone. Then they got infected. Then he came back. They had to remove his leg. They had to remove his fingers.
Right.
Now they want to make sure because I guess they look at it like it's their fault. Yeah, I'm about to order something to eat too. Now I'm hungry. You got me wanting to eat steak now.
Oh, we're getting Chinese. We're getting Chinese.
I had Chinese when I had Chinese the other day. Yeah.
So do you cook or you eat out all the time?
Nah.
Travels to the body. Okay.
I cook sometimes. I hate cooking though by myself. I hate cooking, so I don't eat out a lot though.
That's what I'm saying. So then what's a typical meal that you would make for yourself?
It depends. Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Steak.
Pork chops.
Yeah, pork chops and applesauce.
Oh, I used to say that. Where did that come from? Was that the Brady Bunch? Pork chops and applesauce. Yes, it is. It's the Brady Bunch.
Nah, that was it the Brady Bunch? I thought that was Home Alone.
Pork chops and applesauce. See, I remember him saying that. I was Peter from the Brady Bunch.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I try not to eat the same thing. You get tired of eating the same thing over and over again. But
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Where is Aline alleged wife? I thought he was married.
I am married, Fulana.
Nope, that's
Blood Moon. My alleged wife.
Yeah.
She's
skeptical of everyone.
She's in Republica Dominicana.
Oíste.
Yeah. She'll be up here soon.
Why is she not cooking?
She cooking for herself.
Blood Moon is digging.
Alleged. Now we going through the immigration process. Blood Moon. She'll be up here soon though. She'll probably be up here before the new year.
Fulana should say, "You crazy? I almost choked on a piece of watermelon." Just stop it. Just
Wow. I used to like cooking though, man. I hate cooking, but Now I ain't mind cooking. I like to cook for other people though. I'm just cooking for myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about cooking. I mean, now it's like I gotta throw food out because my son barely he like he's here now. He wanted to eat, but there's food in there that sometimes it goes bad because he's not here.
That's how I am when I cook because I cook too much and then I gotta throw it away or I get tired of eating leftovers so I throw it out.
Right.
Oh man, Blood Moon, you crazy.
What she said? Oh, okay. So his wife is a purchased pussy from DR. I thought she was like a black woman. Do y'all eat watermelon?
Purchase.
I don't like it salty. Do you? I know Mexican here they put some hot peppers or some like a powdery pepper.
They put that chili pepper on there.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly I never tried it, but I don't like that salty sweet. I don't know.
Nah, I don't like watermelon. I don't like watermelon.
You don't like it? I learned to eat it like a few years ago. I wasn't always a fan.
I think the only one I like is like maybe pineapple. I don't like none of them cantaloupes. The other one, honeydew, cantaloupes, watermelon. I don't like it. No.
She likes salty, sweet salty. Yeah, watermelon is not even that good without salt. Really? Oh no, I like a nice sweet watermelon.
Yeah, the yellow watermelon.
I never had it. They sell it here. I never had it though. I guess because I'm used to seeing it, the other way.
Who was it who started that when they put the chili pepper in us? They said that's a Mexican culture.
Yeah, I forgot what they call it. It's like I don't know, some sort of pepper flakes or something they put on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat the watermelon like that.
Oh wow.
Is that your car, Arlene? Okay, so what the hell?
Yeah, the watermelon is just extra like juicy. It don't have a like flavor to it. To me, it don't. It's just juicy and watery.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason.
Oh, okay.
I getting robbed. Nah, the lady just got out the car. She just parked the car.
Oh, someone getting robbed. Where you live? He's in Philly.
Yeah, man, they was doing that for a minute. The carjacking had crazy here in Philly for a minute. It was like New Jersey Drive.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the crickets too?
Who watches the House of? I haven't watched it yet. Blood Moon.
You like that? You like the House of the Dragon?
I mean, is it like Games of Thrones? Because I only watched Games of Thrones like maybe once or twice. I couldn't get into it, but I did watch what is it? The Catcher? What's the on Netflix? I like that one, so I don't know if it's the same.
It's supposed to be like cool to Game of Thrones, so you might not like it.
Yeah, then I probably won't like it then.
It's like before, like hundreds of years before Game of Thrones.
Oh, so it's like a prequel sequel.
Yeah.
So I guess all the Game of Thrones heads are watching that now.
They're going crazy about it. They're going crazy.
Well, you see Blood Moon, she said, I love it.
I tried it. I don't get the same feeling. It's not the same. Like, they say it's different. It's different writers this time. So, Fulana said she don't watch that type of stuff. I was against it too. I heard everybody talking about it when it first came. I'm like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that show.
I like The Witcher, but I didn't like Games of Thrones.
Oh, you like The Witcher?
I like that. Yeah, that I like.
Who
And it's
was in
kind of.
that? Who was in that? The
I don't
Witcher.
remember the name of the actor. I don't remember the name of the actor, but I like it. Games of Thrones was one of the best shows on TV.
Oh man.
No, I like True Blood. True Blood was one of the best ones on TV. True Blood. What was the other HBO one? The one with the people that had the funeral home and Dexter.
Oh, Dexter. Yeah.
Love Dexter.
Oh, The Witcher. The Witcher.
Henry Cavill is so sexy. He's the Witcher. Okay. Wait, let me tell my son. You hear him, right? He got his headphones on, and he can't tell him I'm live, huh?
He playing game.
Yeah, he's playing the game. Talk to his friend.
He having a good time.
Yeah, he's home. When he starts driving, I'm gonna start having a titty attack. When he has his own car, I mean, or married. The one.
Now we've been married for a few years. We've been together for like about 8 years now. We've been married for like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was that long. I thought it was faster than that. I know it's.
Nah, but the pandemic messed everything up.
Okay.
She would have been up here.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So that set you back a couple of years then. Okay.
A blood moon. She don't know. Blood moon don't know.
Coca-Cola or Haitian?
You
know, for blood moon, you have to be specific. Is she Dominican, Coca-Cola, or Haitian? We don't hear you.
I said she's both.
Oh, she's both. Okay. So she's both. All right, last one. And I got one more thing to do, then I'm done.
You still working? It's like almost 9 o'clock here. You still?
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I move a little slow. Sometimes I'm on here because of me. I mean, I can move faster, but I take my time with a lot of shit. 1, 2, 1, 3. Isn't that what we put on there, motherfucker?
John, it kicked me off. She's both.
Oh, you mentioned 3. She said Dominican, Coca-Cola, or Haitian. So what is she both of what?
Hold on. She's Dominican and Haitian.
Oh, okay.
About what is it, an hour and a half, 2 hours away? Get there like in an hour and a half. Get to New York.
I thought it was like
from
2.
Philly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, depending on traffic. 2 hours. I get there like an hour and a half.
Right? So
What'd you say?
Okay, the turnpike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, she's not Haitian.
She's half blood moon. Blood moon 1 hour over the speed limit, of course. All right, that's good. Okay, I'm going to see the cracked bell. Oh yeah, I love what. So I can't eat cantaloupe. See the in Philly, right? Where's that at? What part of Philly is that at?
Where, to see the Liberty Bell?
Yeah.
It's in like downtown in the city. Okay. We call it Center City.
Center City. That was in All My Children. That was really like, or was it One Life to Live? It was in one of those soap operas, Center City.
Yeah, it's in Center City.
Like the hood. In the soap opera, it was the hood. Is Center City the hood?
No.
Okay.
That's where like all the big buildings and offices and
Gotcha. I don't believe him. Haitians pretend to be Dominican all the time. Oh, okay.
Wow.
That one sounds like my stepfather. My stepfather.
Nah, she's both. One parent is Haitian, one parent is Dominican.
¿Sabes que los haitianos dicen que son dominicanos? No, like really? Oh man. I mean, it's better for them to say that, right, Blum? What'd you say, Aline? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gotta get you. We gotta get you to DR.
I will probably this year, next year. The food's here.
That was fast. Gee whiz. They had it already made up for you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it because it had kicked me off, Fulana.
They're supposed to be fast, Aline.
I see. Yeah, we have a child together. I have two children before her. I got two daughters. I have a granddaughter.
That's right, Aline's the granddaddy.
Yeah, my grandbaby.
She's so cute.
Yeah, my little munchkin.
Mm-hmm. What she call you? What you guys got her calling you? Pop Pop?
Yeah, she'll probably call me Pop Pop.
And grandma, because that's what grandmas want to be called now.
Nah, my grandma. I don't know what you gonna call her. Her grandmom and then her great grandma. My mom told her grandkids she don't want to be called grandma. She told them to call her Nana.
Your mother?
Yeah.
But she's a grandma already.
All the kids call her Nana though. They don't call her grandma.
Oh. Wait, my son calls my mother Nana. I'm like, where your Nana? I said, oh, wait.
Who's an older woman? Talking about my wife?
What'd you say, Aline?
I'm reading the comments of Blood Moon. I'm 40. My wife? Nah, my wife is in her 30s. I'm 40.
You know, you got them younger, Blood Moon. They don't want no old women like us.
I'm 40. I'll be 44. I'm 43.
Oh, okay. Aline's still a young boy, a young man.
Almost getting. I feel old. And you got a granddaughter at 43.
Aline is 27. I just turned 19, so I have a few more years to have kids, right? That's another thing though, too. And I forgot who I was asking that. And I'm talking about the ones younger than you, Aline.
Uh-huh.
Like in their 30s.
Yeah.
They don't have kids, and it seems like they don't have any. They don't have any desire. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened?
I was like the last one out of like all my friends that had kids. All my friends, they had kids like 9th grade, 10th grade. Like everybody was.
Ooh.
I think I was 11th grade. I was I was the last one.
11th grade?
My oldest daughter.
Shit. I mean,
I was telling what's her name? Xtina.
Mm-hmm.
Our daughters got the same names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like the oldest one and the youngest one, they both got the same names. Mm-hmm. Leah and Anaya.
Oh, both your daughters and both her daughters?
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. Oh, her oldest daughter is Leah. My oldest daughter is Leah. Her youngest daughter is Anaya. My youngest daughter is Anaya.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Men can have kids at any age. Women have to speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blood Moon, but if you're in your late 30s,
you trying to hurry up. Yeah, my sister was doing that.
You're going to be able to grow with your kids. You're going to be an old man.
Yeah, you want to be able to go out there and play and run, and you don't be a grandpop. You 50 years old with a 1-year-old, 2-year-old. Everybody think it's your grandbaby, it's your son, your daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sundown saying he's being responsible.
He said he's being responsible. How old is Sundown?
I don't know. How old are you, Sundown? Don't wait too long.
He said he's in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want no baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
Baby mama drama.
Yep. Did I do this one already?
It's cool to be responsible, but you can't be picky neither.
Mm-hmm.
Cause then you know before you know it.
Yeah, you'd be 45. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
37. Hurry up, sundown. I don't run with my kids. I want to have one when I'm 50. Yeah, but you already have two. So, but what if you don't have any and you're starting off at 50? Mm-hmm.
Who had a baby like that all late? My sister was rushing. She was like 30, 35, trying to hurry up and have her last child.
Yeah, because after 34 or 35, you're high risk.
Yeah, so my mom was like, "You better hurry up if you want to have another child." Because her oldest is 12,
Mm-hmm.
and now she has she got a 12-year-old and a 3-year-old, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now all I gotta do is a compliance course, and then I'm done.
Then you got to do it all over again tomorrow.
I'll be caught up, but this compliance course, we always got to stay in compliance. And I'm just like, yeah, they do this shit all the time. Now where is it? There it is. They are expensive, Lana.
Yeah, they are expensive. I can tell my granddaughter she's gonna get anything she wants from me already.
She better. But I mean, it's like, I'm glad I only got one, man. I'm like, what if I have several kids, different personalities?
Yeah, they all got different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
But then I see like myself and my daughters, like their personalities.
Mm-hmm. I be bullshitting about Blood Moon. That's why I'm working late. Because if I was in the office, I'd be done. What'd you say, Eileen? Because I would never be working.
I said I see myself, like, even though they got their own personalities, I see like the way they like do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I could say like, okay, she get that from me, or she get that from her mom, or whatever. But but when they was young, like just having two, then almost like 2-3 years apart, you got a boy out the back, and you only got one, so that's cool.
Blood Moon called my job a slave job. You get lazy when you work from home, Blood Moon.
Yeah, you could take your time. You could take a nap.
I'll be watching YouTube. I'll be on
watching YouTube.
I'll be bullshitting.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can do that later. As long as I finish it before I log out, I'm good. But most of it is my fault.
You started working from home the pandemic, or?
Yep.
Okay.
They said they were shutting everything down. We started transitioning to work from home.
Okay. How about because they had like an outbreak at the school with the coronavirus? It was like almost like 40 people were sick at once.
Really?
And so now, like, when we graduate, they talk about they want to have like a virtual graduation. Really? So this girl was passing around this petition saying she don't want a virtual graduation. She want a like cap and gown type. Everybody like, nah, we cool. I don't really want to do the graduation. Just give me the paper. I don't need no graduation. I already wore a cap and a gown. Have your family come and watch you and like.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm cool. My sister she was like, I wanted to come to the graduation.
Aww.
I'm 44 years old. I don't. Just give me the paper. I'll probably still be there because I'm trying to get more certifications.
All right. So how is it that? Why is it that you have to get more certifications? Why can't you just do it with the course?
No, you are doing it with the course, but like I'll try to explain this. It's like let's put it like it's school and it's different subjects, and then you got to take tests in each subject before you graduate.
Okay.
That's a way to explain it. So like the first subject is science. So then you got to take like 5 different tests in science before you pass science. Then you move on to the next one, the next one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate leaving my apartment for anything.
Got the Uber Eats.
Blood Moon liked it better when she was working from home.
Homeschool.
We did that for teachers, huh?
Homeschool.
Mm-hmm. I thought for sure they would have done that because you don't want kids.
They should have. Well, they did here in Philly. They did it like during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They issued all the kids computers, and they was doing a homeschool for a minute, and then they gradually started. They had started like out with half a days,
right?
And then they started letting them go back to school. They should though, man, because that I'm telling you, it was like 40 people was sick.
That's
one of my classmates that started with me. She called me up and she was like, "Lean." She sounded like she was dying. She was like, "I'm sick."
That's what it feels like.
I'm like, yo, I left the school immediately and I went to my job and got tested because this was right before I was about to go to DR. And I'm like, I can't get sick. I can't get sick before my trip.
Hold on one second.
Oh yeah, Amazon. I do Instacart sometimes when I don't feel like going to the market. But Amazon is cool too. They have a Amazon market not too far from my job. She said she works 38 miles away from home. Sheesh.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I knew this freaking course was going to be on speaker. You work in New Jersey?
Fulani, you still in Jersey? That's where I met my wife in New Jersey. You was in Jersey, Lorena, you was in Jersey City?
Town that I'm living.
Where you at?
In Bergen County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we was in Patterson.
Oh no.
That's where I met my wife at.
Oh hell no.
I was in this bar, this Spanish bar. That's where I met her at.
Okay, she's Dominican too?
My wife, yeah.
No, yeah. Oh, you met her there, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll know what the fuck.
Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah, P-Town, Fulana. Hell no.
What's it? Irving?
Irvington?
Irvington, Jersey City. I used to be all up there.
Okay.
P-Town. Yeah, P-Town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole bunch of Dominicans and what's the other
Puerto Ricans?
Well, yeah, that too, but I was shocked to find out they got a whole bunch of Filipinos up there too.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of Filipinos.
It's a lot of Filipinos up there.
Yeah, but in the 90s, because my ex is from Patterson, it was all black then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They even had a parade. They have a parade to go through there, the Dominican parade.
Really?
In Patterson, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been up there in a minute though.
I was like, as my ex tried to get me to move out there, I was like, this is the hood with houses.
She said the hood with houses.
Yeah, that's if I live in the hood, I'm gonna go back to New York.
Well, how much was the houses you was gonna buy? Or you was gonna rent?
Probably, but I wasn't trying to live out there. I didn't like the way Patterson looked. They looked yucky. I was in Bergen County. I wasn't gonna go from Bergen County to live in Patterson.
Why did he want you to move? To be closer to him, or just that he wanted to be closer to his hood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was selfish.
Yep, he definitely is selfish.
She said, "Where they hiding those Filipinos? There's a lot of them. They even have a Filipino They have a Filipino
Yeah.
fast food place in Patterson. What street is that on? What street is that? It's like the Filipinos version of like their version of McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, they have it's a lot of them there, man. And they all work at that hospital.
Yeah, the women are all nurses, right? Because they cornered the market and that shit.
Yeah.
They're all nurses. They barely speak English and they're nurses.
We got a lot of reason why I know because it's a lot of Filipino nurses at my job at the hospital I work at.
They're not Filipino. I think now they're African too, right? Nigerian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she can't live around non-Dominicans. Why is that?
That's all she knows. She can. That's all she knows.
That's all she know.
Mm-hmm. She came from DR straight to the Heights.
Wow.
You could live in the Bronx, Blood Moon.
The Bronx, the
There's
Heights.
Dominicans there.
Yeah, there's Dominicans everywhere now. I'm so happy it's more Dominicans in Philly now because now they got direct flights from Philly to DR.
Really?
Yeah, before I had to go to Jersey or
to
Miami.
You mean
Fort Lauderdale, Boston.
Oh, St. Joe's. Okay.
Yeah, that's where they at.
When I go this weekend, I'm gonna go be on the lookout for them. I'm just gonna look for the Filipinos.
I'm trying to tell you, I could look up the Filipino fast food restaurant they have there.
But you said they live out there too?
Mm-hmm.
Ghetto Dominicans, Puerto Ricans live in the Bronx. No, thank you.
Who there? That's Blood. That's my man.
I'm getting tired of people dissing my Bronx.
Yeah, you can't diss the South Bronx.
Oh, I ain't from the South Bronx though. There's a TikTok about that this girl says you have to separate the North Bronx from the South Bronx. I was like, oh, you sure are right. Because people think that when I see them, I promise I'm gonna take a pic. Yeah, take a picture, Fulana.
You people don't know they Filipino.
Hmm?
They brown. They be it's some dark Filipinos.
Well, they're definitely dark.
Yeah.
South Bronx, yeah.
My first New York girlfriend was from the Bronx. She was from what's that joint with the steps? With the Joker. What's some projects?
There's a lot of steps in the Bronx. That could be anywhere. University.
Where the Joker was dancing up the steps. What's that?
That could be Jerome. I'm saying there's a lot of them. They got them in Kingsbridge. Those stairs like that, that's all over the Bronx.
Damn, I can't think of the name of the place.
Yeah, I just mentioned Jerome, Kingsbridge, University. No, Tremont.
No.
They got one by the pool, by Tracy Towers.
High Bridge.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
The Hybrid is Manhattan. That's the Heights. So you mean across the bridge? Yeah. So no, Hybrid is in Manhattan.
High Bridge is in the Bronx.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the pool. It's called Hybrid Pool. It's right there on Audubon. It's in Manhattan. Unless you talk about the not Hybrid. I know exactly where the projects are at.
I could sworn she said it was High Bridge.
I remember the stairs. Yeah, but that the stairs you remember, Fulana. That's by that was on Kingsbridge towards Van Cortlandt Park.
Where Cardi from? Where
Yeah, that's there by the projects. You're talking about University Heights. She's by that area.
Damn, I can't. I wish I could. But yeah, I met her in North Philly, but she was from the Bronx, and she took me to New York, showed me around and stuff.
Okay. High Bridge is in the Bronx. Oh, it is? Okay, Blood Moon. She says in the Bronx.
Yeah, I knew High Bridge.
Okay. I never called it that. Okay.
Them big steps, them crazy, them steps.
I'm thinking by the projects, because that's the only part I could think of that's called High Bridge in the Bronx. That's right before the bridge, the University Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
That bridge, I remember crossing that bridge when I ran away from home at 6 years old. Cardi B.
You what? What?
Yeah, I ran away from home when I was 6 years old.
Where'd you go?
I lived in the Bronx. I rode my bike all the way from University. I crossed that bridge, I stopped in the middle of the bridge. I thought about throwing my bike over.
What?
I said, no,
What?
my grandmother's house. So I went to my grandmother's house. She lived in Manhattan, like Amsterdam, between Amsterdam and Audubon. I rode my bike there. Don't laugh, Fulana. I went to Mima's house. I showed up there like 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. I knew
She
that's
was
what it
like,
was, Blood Moon. I knew it was
Niña, ¿qué tú
hot
haces aquí? Hey, Sundown. I didn't even see Sundown on there. She said, Niña, ¿qué tú haces aquí? I was like, I'm running away. I hate my mother, blah, blah, blah.
Damn, she was hard on you at 6 years old. You ran away from home.
What? Blood Moon, that's why when I sent you that video, I said that was me. I'm not kidding you. That was me. You're joking.
Oh man.
And then my father was like, why you didn't come to my house? I said, because I didn't know where you lived. If I would have known where you lived, I would have ran away to see your house.
Damn, 6 years old. I like to be like, you run away.
Because I knew the bus route. That's the reason why I was able to get to my grandmother's house.
You rode your bike the bus
in the
route.
summertime, in my pajamas, at 6 years old. Yeah. So you see, the Bronx wasn't that dangerous. A kid couldn't do that now. At night, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Blood Moon got something against the Bronx, man. I'm trying to tell you. She don't like the Bronx.
If you don't live in the Heights, every place is ghetto. Cardi B is ghetto because she grew up in the Bronx. I'm not ghetto, Blood Moon. And when they picked me up to go home the next day,
Yeah.
my stepfather took the wheels off my bike.
Oh,
I went to get my bike and said, oh shit.
Oh man.
There's
You
no
was
wheels
dead.
on my bike.
Yo, imagine like back then.
You
That
see,
was-
Blood Moon? Abusadora. I would have given you the biggest beat down. No, she probably felt embarrassed that I wanted to freaking leave her ass.
At 6 years old though.
Mm-hmm. What's
My
up,
mom-
boss?
My mom used to be like, you run away if you want to. You can't take nothing with you. I bought shit.
That was Fulana's mother. She used to be like, take off everything. Right, Fulana?
Yeah,
You
everything.
want to run away, you got to get out of here naked. You're going to leave naked. That's what Fulana's mom used to say.
My mom used to say the same thing. She's like, pack your bag. Oh, take everything out because I bought all that shit.
See, so I'm just the only one that actually did it. You guys never did it. I said, fuck that. I was like, I hate her. I'm leaving. I don't want to be here anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to run away. I was a smart kid.
Yeah, you crazy. At 6 years old. I'm like 8, 9, maybe 10. I thought about doing it, but not at 6.
Nope, I was 6 years old.
What's good, Sundown? You still at work?
Mm-hmm.
I get the water out of your car.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep that. You see my keys? Hold that, Aline.
Mm-hmm. She said she got anxiety. I couldn't imagine. They'd be like, I hate my dad. I'm running away. I'm running away. You ain't going nowhere, girl.
Me and your sister did it together, Fulana. Oh, that was crazy. And Fulana told her mom where we was at.
She snitched on you?
No, Fulana, big time.
Yeah. Oh man, Fulana. Oh man.
She snitched, Eileen. He was like, they'll never find us. That bitch fucking found us. She remembered the route. See, she remember we was at my brother's house. She remembered the route to my brother's house.
She told exactly where y'all was at too.
Yeah, man.
You
Can y'all hear me now?
Though, right? Yeah,
Oh,
we hear you.
that's why you did it, because you got mad because we left your ass. Uh-huh.
But you had other siblings, Morena,
Mm-hmm.
in your household. You was the oldest girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember my mom would be beating me. My mom would be beating me and my brother, and my sister would be like in the doorway watching us laughing. Like,
My brother used to do that.
I hate this little bitch. She's sitting there laughing at us.
My brother used to do that. We used to get each other in trouble. We used to threaten each other like, oh, damn.
It was
like,
3 of us. So.
Do this to me, I'm gonna tell mommy whatever, and he'd be like, stop lying. I'll be like, Mom. He'd be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she said Fulana was the boring one. My sister was the boring one in my family. That was me. I was your sister. No, Blood Moon. See, me and Fulana's sister, we were the daring ones. We used to do stuff that, we like to have fun. And Fulana was like the one that would try to ground you and say, don't do that.
We're gonna get in trouble.
We were daredevils. Like, Fulana she was afraid of dying, and me and her sister weren't, I guess.
I remember one time, me and my brother, I forget what we did, but my mom put us on the whole summer, yo. That was a I remember how I just said summertime used to last. So it felt like summer was forever when you was young.
Oh,
imagine being punishment the whole summer. Like, that shit was crazy. Forget what we did.
I think summer was long because you didn't have like the concept of time.
Yeah, you didn't even know what day it was. Some days you didn't even know what day. Every day was Friday. Nothing. You was a child. So.
Yep.
Now the summer go like this. It's over.
Especially if you don't do nothing.
Yo, so let me ask y'all this, since y'all are older than me. If y'all could, would y'all go back? Do y'all think that the 90s was the best era?
For me, it was.
Yeah, the 90s was dope. I had a good childhood. Good and bad. I had a good childhood.
I was in my late teens, early 20s. I enjoyed the 90s.
90s, I was early teens. Yeah, I had a good childhood, 90s.
Nice. Now, I was watching this video in high school. I was watching this video, like, high school in the 90s. And the people were having, like, the big-ass camcorder. And then I looked at the date, and I was like, holy. Yeah, they had the big camcorder. And I looked at the date, and I was like, yo, I was in high school at that time. So I really felt old.
Oh, wow. When did you graduate high school? 2000?
03.
Sheesh. Yeah, I graduated 97.
My son was born in 2004.
Wow.
And I was late compared to all my friends. All my friends I had kids already.
Yeah, that's how I was the last one.
Yeah, but my little brother, he came like late in the game. Yeah, I don't even remember when my brother graduated. He was born in 93.
93?
Yeah.
93. Sheesh.
But your generation loves the 90s. I'm just like, I'm surprised.
They still be having these the 90s parties. Somebody just invited me to a 90s party, like where you got to dress like.
Wow.
The 90s stuff.
We do 80s parties. That's really old. But...
Yeah, about 90s. It would be talking about 2000 parties, early 2000s. The big T-shirts and big jeans and shit. Wait till they start having them. Everybody wearing throwbacks.
That's right. That was the 90s. That's right.
Big sweatsuits and all that.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember I went back to my mom's place. This is like 06. And she had like all my clothes and stuff. Shit, packed them up and put them to the side. So I gained a lot of weight. And I went back and I tried on like my pants that I had. And them things was like super baggy on me. And this is when I was like 40 pounds heavier. So I was like, yo, imagine what they looked like when I was 140 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 140 pounds wearing like 36s.
My mom used to always, she used to be like 40s, 42s. My mom used to be like, why? What you gonna do when that's not in style? What you gonna do when that's not in style? All them big ass jeans, big ass T-shirts look like dresses.
Yeah. The 4X tall, the 4X tall tees.
The tall tees, big ass sweatsuits you could fit two people in. I gave away a lot of that shit. I got the jerseys though. They way deep in the closet.
Yeah, you can keep the jerseys. They go on like and 20 years,
I'm a
they
fr-
really
I
gonna be
think
worth a lot of money.
I think I'm gonna frame them and put them in the man cave.
Blood
Yeah.
Moon enjoyed her 90s. You was having sex with Blood Moon?
Uh-oh. The 90s. I had a good 90s was lit.
Yeah, I definitely would say that 2000s was all right because that's when I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Mm.
But I still say that the 90s was the best.
I know I had fun.
I know.
Have fun.
The 90s.
Jay, you broke up. You were talking. I can't hear you now.
You hear me?
You were talking and then you broke up.
What you say?
I said you were explaining something and then you went out.
Nah, I was just saying big clothes.
Yeah, I think it was better because times were more simple.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, I think times was more simple back then. Definitely.
It was because you wasn't an adult. You didn't have responsibility. Even if you grew up now, my son is going to say that. Oh, I remember the 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, when we're young, if you had a decent childhood, yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, because like I didn't grow up in the city like you guys.
I had a good childhood though, even though I grew up in the city. It wasn't that bad. Well, I don't know. Like when I was growing up, Sundown, it was heroin addicts. It wasn't crackheads. Until I became like a
80s.
early teen. Mm-hmm. But but it was like mostly heroin addicts before crack came out. So and the heroin addicts weren't aggressive or violent.
Yeah, because they was
Yeah,
all.
that's the ones that they be dozing off, right? They used to doze off.
Yeah, they sleeping. They sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get it together.
But you want to know something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the whole lean epidemic.
Yeah.
You know that they said like the brain processes like lean, like heroin.
It's the same. It's basically the same thing.
Oh wow.
It's codeine.
Yeah. I didn't know. I never tried it, but you know that's a big thing out in Texas.
Yeah.
And they were like they get addicted to it because the brain breaks it down. Like it's hitting the brain like they taking heroin.
Well, in Philly, it's the pills. Everybody gets hooked on Percocets, and then they see how the Percs is so expensive that they just go to the dope, straight to the heroin.
Wow.
Because the dope is $5. It's $5 a bag, and the Percs is like.
What do they sniff it?
Now they take it, they swallow like.
Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure some people that sniff it or shoot it up, but in the beginning, initial, they just taking it like a regular pill.
Knowing what that does to you, knowing how addictive it is, that's crazy.
Yep. There's money in them pills. That's like when they had the riots and everything was crazy during that. They, like George Floyd, and it was somebody here in Philly that got killed. A young dude charged at the knife, and the cop shot him. They ran through the whole city, man. All the drugstores. All the first thing they went for was the pharmacy.
Took all the drugs and shit.
All the Percs, everything. I mean, they went to pharmacy. That's the first thing they want. Everything else was like, okay, a bonus, but they wanted.
Okay, so when it comes to the pharmacy, if you go in and you start stealing pills, like, isn't that dangerous because like it's not calibrated to like, okay, so like, you know how like if you get pills designated to you, they'll give you the proper dosage because you got to do like a certain amount per body. What is it? Body weight, X amount.
Yeah.
So like, if you 200 pounds and you take this Percocet, and a person is 120 pounds and they take that same Percocet, it'll affect them differently, right?
They just try and get high.
Yeah, but they can end up getting killed like that. Or they end up ODing like that. Because I had a friend that's he's a firefighter, and he's a paramedic, and he was saying how like you can't just give everybody the same dosage. You gotta add it to like their body weight and stuff like that. You can't just give the same person this and then give another person that same amount because it could kill them. Motherfuckers was breaking in the pharmacy and just taking random pills.
They don't care, man. That's the problem.
But from what I heard, like the whole Coke is different. Coke doesn't affect people the same way that heroin does and like crack, right?
No.
Well, Coke is considered an upper. Heroin is a downer, and I don't know what crack does.
Yep.
I don't know what crack does to you. Blood Moon, we had a neighborhood heroin addict in our building. He lived on the other. We had two entrances, and he lived on the other side. And the neighbors, the people that live in the building, would give him coffee and money, and he just lived there. Nobody ever went on that. Nobody ever used that side of the door because it stunk. Because he lived there. But he was like our building heroin addict. He didn't bother nobody, and they used to feed him and give him money.
Yeah.
He would get high and stay there. So I knew what they looked like.
So I remember I saw this one lady. She was walking down the road. This is in Oak Cliff, and I guess she was high on. You ever heard of wet?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Like PCP.
I don't know what it is, but I heard of it.
Yeah, it's like PCP.
Mm-hmm.
And she was walking, and she ain't had no clothes on, and I thought that she had on like how like some spandex, if you say light skin and you wear some spandex, it can kind of look like you don't have anything on because it matches your skin color. She sure enough was naked. She was walking down the road, and people were driving by and they were looking at her, and I'm like, okay, she must have on some like skin color spandex. Nah, she was butt naked, just walking down the road. I was like, yo.
Yeah, back in the day, they used to call it because in DC when they first started out with that, people would be running down the street butt naked. They called it butt naked.
Yeah, because I heard it raises your body temperature and makes you hot. This chick was walking down the street butt naked. I didn't see, because like, when I was a kid, I grew up in a, middle upper neighborhood, so we all had houses, so it wasn't like the projects or anything like that where you see that stuff on the regular. So I didn't start seeing that until I was an adult. I think I saw my first crackhead when I was like 20 something.
Yeah, crack. You see that in the city is everything. You see everything as a child, and that's the crazy part about it. Like as kids, we are wait somewhere, cat. We're exposed to so much at a young age.
If you live in the city, you are.
Yeah, we exposed. Little kids is exposed. Go ahead, cat.
And where I used to live at, where we had that neighborhood heroin addict, before crack hit really hard, moved out. My parents moved us out. And I used to go back to see my parents, and I was like, damn, it got really bad. There was a lot of drug dealers in there, crackheads. It looked like the movie New Jack City. Remember New Jack City?
That when they took over that complex.
Mm-hmm.
The park.
That's what it looked like. And my brothers in Washington Heights, that's what it looked like too. They looked like New Jack City. Crack and coke and it was crazy. Excited. My cousin and I were taking it to a lady, woo, and we opened the $10 bill and tasted it. Oh, wow, girl, you crazy.
So, do y'all feel sorry for the crackheads?
No. Well, there was one in my family, unfortunately, and he was using that, I guess, because he was gay, and the family turned their back on him. So it's like, I guess he turned to that. I don't know.
I think everybody in the city. I think every city got a crackhead in their family, man. Everybody got addiction. Somebody's addicted to something. Drugs.
I don't know. He was the only addict I knew personally. And I didn't know he was an addict. I found out like later. We'll tell him, Sean.
I was I always looked at it like, you know what the side effects are, you know what the results are.
Mm-hmm.
If you get strung out on that stuff. So like if they do it still, then I don't feel sorry for them. But sometimes you have instances like, you know, DMX, like when DMX was a kid, you know, he said that somebody laced his stuff. He didn't know it. And he got addicted that way. But like if you openly do it and like you for sure like, nah, I want to do that, then yeah, I don't feel sorry for you.
That's true.
But I heard it kind of recalibrates your brain. If you take it, you're never the same after you
I don't know what's wrong with perception.
I'm gonna try it, but I don't think I have an addictive personality. But I think your DNA has something to do with it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I have an addictive personality, so it's one of those things. That's one of the reasons why I don't drink. Is because like that runs in my family.
Right.
So I didn't want to do it, and then next thing you know, I can't go a day without drinking. Mm-hmm. So I always kept it to where it would have to be something social for me to take a drink, but I made sure that I didn't overindulge in it.
Mm-hmm.
That and smoking, but I never actually did the smoking thing.
Oh, okay.
Blood Moon is crazy.
I don't know. Blood Moon have fun and doesn't sound like you live in a bubble. I don't get it.
They be smoking that coke.
Yeah, most cokeheads went to crack. They wanted that quick, cheap high. Shit, white boys were doing it. I didn't know a lot, but there definitely some crackheads out there.
White people definitely. I think white people are more prone to doing like meth.
Yeah, I didn't know what a meth head was, so I moved down here. Apparently, there's a lot down here. Fuck it, let me do that. I know I failed. I'm trying to listen to you guys and do this shit at the same time.
Yeah, that's one thing I was like, always stayed clear of it. It was just like the drugs in general. Because I was like, nah, I didn't want to be a part of that statistic.
I only like weed and I drink beer and liquor. And I used to hit my mother's liquor cabinet and then put water in it. I thought I was being slick by putting water in it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll water it down. Alim was arguing with his second wife.
No, I remember my little brother got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, so my mom, so she had like all these different alcohols. She put it in like the what a curio cabinet is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she had a bunch of alcohol and like a bunch of wines, and she would put it in her curio cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just for collecting. She was like, as time went on, she noticed that like the bottles were getting emptier and emptier, and she thought that it was just the stuff evaporating.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of find out my little brother was going in there, and he would take the cork off.
Wow.
And he'd take like a sip or two, and then he'd put it back in there. So my mom was like, this whole time I was looking at the alcohol, I was like, man, it's starting to evaporate. But it was my brother going in there.
Oh,
He was like, well, nobody drinks it.
right. He was drinking good wine, huh? Wow. The shit we used to do, yo. I mean, so crazy, Ali? My son doesn't do that, yo. He doesn't do that. At least not in the house. I mean, now I'm sure he's experimenting, but he doesn't do it in the house. Because I have shit lying around. I'll be looking for it too. Like, it's just me and you, buddy. You don't got no brothers and sisters to try to blame it on. So,
yeah,
it's you. Mm-hmm.
But it skips a generation. So, like, if you were the kid that was always snooping around, getting in trouble, or was the bad kid, if you have kids, they're usually more relaxed. Now, if he probably has a kid, they'll probably be more adventurous. Because it always skips a generation.
He ain't gonna know what to do, but I'm gonna bring him to my house. I'll school him.
But with you being from Texas, or with him being from Texas,
mm-hmm.
Country mischievous, like being mischievous in the country, is a lot different than being mischievous in the city.
You're right.
All right, what I miss?
Nothing. What happened?
I don't know. The reception is crazy.
Oh, but if you get a phone call,
nah.
Okay.
I'm about to order some food.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't even want to finish eating my shit. I don't know. I wanted it, now I don't care for it.
Ain't no second wife. Arguing with his second wife.
No. She's your first wife. Isn't Blood Moon one of your wives?
Nah, we got divorced a while ago.
Oh. You didn't like her racist ways? I mean, her prejudice ways?
Yeah, she said she only got a quarter of Puerto Rican in me, so I wasn't good enough for it. So it's all right. My first wife loved me. What was y'all talking about? Y'all talking about addiction and alcoholism and all that?
Yeah, no. So I have an addictive personality. That's one of the reasons why I don't have a bike.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, because actually, me and my sister, we were talking about it. Cause my sister's in a bike club, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me if I was ever gonna get a bike, and I was like, nah, man, my personality is too addictive. I would be that guy that you would see on a bike,
souping it up, going fast.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's how my brother was. My brother was in the military.
And like,
he was in the Air Force, and he when he was stationed in Louisiana, he joined
Barksdale.
Not too far from where Boosie and them from.
Yeah, I think it's Barksdale, Louisiana.
Yeah. So he joined this bike club, and he had a Busa, and he got it souped up and he did all this extra stuff to this. It was so fast. But then like a lot of the older guys started coming to the club with cruisers, with the Harleys, you know, with the
with
bags
choppers.
with the bags on the side, and you got the radio on there and all that. So then he ended up getting one of them. So he got two of them now.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, it's not necessarily the bike that you have to worry about. Like, have you ever seen the cameras? Like the bikers had ahead cameras, and people
He got one.
Yeah, like people be assholes on purpose. They'll see you driving by and they'll dart into your lane just to throw you off.
That's me. I'm sitting outside. But when I get,
but it's not me.
That's me. You hear the crickets. This is the city.
Yeah, but I hear crickets.
Yeah, you won't be hearing them in a couple weeks, maybe another week or so.
It's gonna get cold.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would happen here. We're not gonna get cold till November.
November?
We're lucky. November, December, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold. Probably October, November. You said addictive behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've always had that.
At least you know though. At least you
know. My mother, even though I did a lot of fucked up shit, my mother kept me from being worse though. Because I always contemplated what I was willing to get in trouble for. Like I knew what my consequences were.
You knew what she was going to do and what she wasn't going to do.
Well, so am I willing to get a beat down for this? Yeah. Am I willing to get a beat down for that? Hell no. Like I wouldn't smoke weed in the street. You know, my friends used to smoke in the street, and I was like, nah. I don't want her to catch me or somebody to tell her that they caught me. You know?
Yeah.
That's how my sister was.
Smoke in the building. We ain't gonna smoke outside. I got out of like a ticket. They used to give us tickets for that. I got out of it because I didn't want to smoke weed in the streets, and my friends wanted to. I didn't even like exchanging money for drug things, so I used to like sit it out.
Mm-hmm.
And two of my friends went and got it. They came back. They started rolling in the street. I was like, "Hey, why can't we smoke in the building?" I was like, "Oh, why are you always acting so scary?" Blah blah blah. As soon as we came out of the project, they had a task force called TNT who pulled up flashing badges and all this shit.
Oh man.
I was like, oh my god! And in my head, I was like, "What the fuck is my mother gonna tell me?" So he pulled out his book to start writing the citation, not ticket citation. And
I remember them citation days.
He gave it to both of my girlfriends and closed the book. And one of them bitches was like, "Oh, why you ain't gonna give her a ticket? I mean, a citation." And I was like, "Damn, you gonna throw me under the bus just because you got one?"
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, I saw her say no when you went to pass her the joint." They saw me say no. I shook my head like, nah.
Oh, like, okay. And she snitched on you too.
Yeah, that's what I was like, "Yo, why you do that?" But yep, as I told you guys, we should smoke in the building. Why you gotta smoke in the street?
Now look at it. Now look at New York. You can smoke outside.
Dude, New York smells like weed.
Now look at New York.
I went to see my mother. I rented a car. I stayed in New Jersey, right at the bridge, and I went to see my mother in the Bronx. And when we're driving through the Bronx, I said to myself, like, "Dude, it smells like we're smoking in the car."
Yeah, it's that strong.
It smells like weed. The hotel, even the hotel in New Jersey, you smell. And I'm telling you, the people were cleaning the hotels, trying to keep that smell away.
Yeah.
So it was subtle, but it was there. People are just smoking everywhere. They don't care.
That's crazy. Like, you know what? I never would have thought.
It's legal now.
It smells like weed, Sundown. You smell like you're smoking. You'll go somewhere and the smell will be on your clothes. The odor will be on your clothes.
But you can smoke right in front of a cop now and they can't say nothing. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Not a good look. Smoke in the house.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what makes me old school. Like we weren't, I don't know. Even beer. Like I didn't like really drinking beer in the street. I don't know.
Yeah, when I drank, it was always in like a social setting in a bar. Like drinking outside, just like in the public, just having a beer,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gives me Lush. Like, you know what a Lush is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yep.
gives me like Lush vibes. When you just see people sitting out on the stoop drinking a beer.
They do that in New York.
That can still be social though, if y'all out.
In the city, they do that, but I've never
Yeah.
felt. I never felt comfortable.
Yeah, I'd much rather do it in my privacy in my own home. Like, in case something happen, you safe, you home.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not doing
She said she wished they would choke. Sometimes they do choke.
Yeah, but when it's bad, I was just like, oh my god, people, they're really going all the way out with this shit. Like,
Yeah, now they got all the stuff that they got out now is nothing like they had out when we was young. They got
also,
some.
of course, it's garbage.
They got some new shit now.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it was like they got some stuff now that they add into it that make it as bad as smoking regular cigarettes, like tobacco. And it was like it wasn't because marijuana used to not be.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't hear you, Sunday. It used to not be what?
Marijuana used to be healthier than say smoking cigarettes, but now they put so much stuff in the marijuana
To make it stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as bad.
Bro. Even the
Now they
cigarette.
add like the extra THC and the other ingredients, and it sticks to the lungs now, just like the tar does from cigarettes.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, there was a dude. There was a guy on YouTube that was showing like the effects of like the marijuana and stuff on the lungs, and he was using a plastic bag, and he was showing how like the tar from all the additives that's in it now sticks to the lungs, just like tobacco.
Blood Moon, that's a different type of weed. The one that you smoke smells like shit. That's not the one we smoke.
Oh man. What about just the fact that smoke in your lungs? Period. Smoke, cigarette smoke, weed smoke, and then smoking the hookah smoke, whatever.
I never got the hookah.
Smoke in your lungs is not good. Period, though.
Yeah, because it's in a way it's cooking the inside of your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
All that hot air is going in there, and it's only one way out and one way in. So it's searing the lining of the inside of your lungs.
You know what the kids are doing now? They're vaping a lot. So I told my son, I found a couple of vapes, so he is doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took it from him and I said, that's worse than smoking weed out of fucking blunt. Like, you better off just smoking it out of blunt because the vaping is pure chemicals. Like, that'll put holes in your lungs. I was telling that, like, you know, so I haven't seen, I don't know, he's not bringing it in the house, but because I found like 3
vapes.
And I was like, how you get it? They sell those to kids? I was threatening him. I was like, where you got it? I'm going to go to that gas station.
You know he get it.
Gas station.
He looked like a grown man. He can go right to the what they call it.
He got a baby face. No, his body
vape shops. Yeah, the vape shops.
No, he got a baby face. No, they get out the gas station.
Oh, okay.
You know, he got a body of a man, and he still got a baby face. You look at him, you know he's a baby. Or maybe I just said he's my baby.
Yeah, you just saying he looks like a grown man. He took
Yeah, your son is big.
Yeah.
So that's a big boy.
No, he's not big anymore, Sundown. He looks good, right? He looks smaller than what you saw, but more muscle. But he has more defined muscle, but he lost a lot of weight.
Okay. Ever since he stopped playing football.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See that?
Yeah, and he told me his coach is like, well, like, you know, like watching you don't play football, like his whole life was gonna freaking end. Well, that motherfucker. I said, what he thought. You didn't tell me you're academic, you're an athlete. You're not counting on football to do nothing for you.
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. Like you see so many kids that's their entire life. Football. Not just football, but just sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they neglect the studies because they're so good. The teachers will just pass them along, and then they don't even make it to the pros, and they don't have anything to fall back on.
That's also no plan.
I know so many kids like that's real good, and everybody's banking on them to be something and be successful and go to the next level. He's right. The teachers to pass them on. They give them all BT, whatever. So in place.
Yeah, listen. There's a football player. He used to play for the Seattle Seahawks. His name was Aaron Curry. I was in high school with that guy. One of the biggest blockheads I ever met in my life. But his teachers passed him on. And he ended up going to Wake Forest, and then he ended up getting drafted to the NFL. But he ended up quitting because he was saying just the workload that they put on you. But I was like, man, this dude. So you could tell that you got pushed through high school. But
I always push grades. I didn't ever give a fuck about sports. I know he wanted him to play. He played because he played because his friends were playing football. He didn't care for it.
Yeah, the reason I never actually played sports. I just did gymnastics. But that was because of I had ADD. And that was my parents' way of getting the energy ran out of me. So I did that. But like sports, I just never got into playing sports like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did do a sport, I did do track and field in my 12th grade year.
Uh-huh.
But that was, I mean, if you look at it, that's a solo thing as well, because I just did the 100 and then the 200.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't actually on like a team, like a football team or a basketball team or anything like that. But I just never got into the whole sports thing.
That wasn't my thing. I have friends who invested in their kids playing sports, like since they were little. And now their kids are the same age as my son, and I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna go pro or they got scholarships for basketball or football.
Do you know the window? Do you know the window of them going pro is so small?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. You invest all this money and time because that takes time and money. Especially if they're like on a traveling team. Forget about it. That's your life, right? If it's basketball, I couldn't commit to that. Not with my son.
Yeah, that's how it was in gymnastics when I got older.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, if you really want to take this to another level, you're gonna have to devote this amount of time. And I was moving from base to base, and I would have to relocate and then try to find another gymnasium that did tumbling, and then I would go to this gym, and then I had to go to another gym. And it was just like, nah, man, the timing and the amount of effort that you have to put into that is so great that I would just be wasting my time, and my parents would just be wasting their money.
Oh. And gymnastics is an expensive sport, so now.
Yes, it is.
Gymnastics is expensive because I wanted to play that. My mother put me in because I had ADD too, but when I was younger in New York City, she said the programs were state funded. It was free. Not like now that you had to pay for everything. So by the time I got tired of being in dance, track, whatever the hell she put me in, tennis, I said, I'm going to do gymnastics. She was like, oh, no, we're not doing gymnastics. The city didn't cover that. So I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, because even back in the early 90s, it was like $100+ a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about $100 in 1994, 93. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to do gymnastics or ice skating. My mother didn't want to do that either. She was like, no.
Yeah.
You got to pay for your skates and the classes, and it was a bit much.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I feel they did all that just to keep some of us out of it. You know. Yeah, because my mother was able she just didn't want to pay for that shit. Because and that too, because I was the type that I'll say I want to do this to death. I finally do it and be like, I don't want to do it no more. I was definitely.
It's like an addictive personality because, like, when you do something and you're into it, you just do 100%. You just go what they call it, balls to the wall, just 100%. It takes over everything. You just focus on doing that.
Right.
And then it eats up everything else because you're devoting so much time to that you don't really leave enough time to do other things.
Yeah, just like I wanted to play tennis, my mother put me in tennis, and I didn't like that I had to wake up real early in the summertime and be out there in the hot sun. But I did just everything. I played a lot of instruments. I played a lot of sports. But they had those programs in New York, and then I think they stopped by the 90s. I think they stopped that. Nothing was free anymore. Oh yeah, that's when credit card came in. Yeah. Nothing was free anymore.
And it's a shame. I get that, you have to pay to keep the business, like keep giving the business like the funding to operate. But it's just that you have so many people that would be good at it, so many people that are interested in it, they just can't do it because of the money.
Blood Moon, I played piano and I only remembered one fucking song. I swear, and I can do it now if I had a piano. My mother was like, wow, all that time to learn piano and you only learned like one song? Like, yep. And it was a real easy one too.
No, the piano was hard because you got to train your brain to do two different things.
I would look
one hand
kids though.
You gotta play piano at a young age because it's easier to train your brain like that. But it's really hard to get one hand to do one thing and then have another hand do the other. Because when you playing piano, you got like the bass or whatever you gotta hit with the left hand, and then you gotta do everything else with the right hand at the same time. I tried to do it maybe about a week. I was like, man, the hell with that. I would try to get this hand to do something, and it would end up playing the same keys as the other one.
Where's Alim about to leave? Because the ratchetness is about to start in another stream.
You got the notification?
The ratchetness is about to start. Yeah, we got another 5 minutes because his shit is like forever.
Yeah.
Alim, where you at? Wait, let me send him a message. Let me tell him I'm about to go.
So, were you talking about your son getting a certification? Was it welding?
Yeah, he's getting it. He's going to graduate with it.
Oh, nice. Which kind of welding do you know?
I got to look at the acronyms and stuff, but he'll be able to go to the oil fields and start working there, or to do pipe fitting and stuff like that. He'll be able to do all that. He's getting experience now. He's been doing it since the 10th grade.
Okay. Yeah. I would tell your son this: do not go as a deckhand if he's going to do oil.
What's the deckhand?
You know what a deckhand is?
Mm-mm.
All right, you ever see those videos of the dudes that they don't have shirts on and they'll just be covered in like dirt, and then they'll be pulling the pipe up, and then they'll grab like the other pipe and then they'll jam it in, and then they'll have like the little gear, and they'll close the gear, and then it'll shoot dirt up, and then it'll take that's the ones that work like 15-16 hours a day.
Oh no, I don't even want him to kill himself. And it's crazy. I don't want him to work in like the oil fields. I don't know what it's like for black men in the oil field.
I know a couple of black guys that's in the oil field.
Yeah, don't they deal with a lot of crap?
I never really asked them about that. I just know they say don't get on the deckhand. Like, don't be a deckhand. Try to get back office. If you get back office, then it's chill. But I do know one that he's on a place called Stanley, North Dakota, which at one time was like the number one oil field in the U.S. He's been there for like 10 years. He's got all three of his kids' college paid off.
Mm-hmm.
When they get old enough to go to college, all their college is going to be paid for. His house is paid off. Everything is paid off, and he's making 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
He was like, he got his job was so I think he said it's something like he sits in an office and he's the guy that does something that separates like the sand, the water, and the oil.
Oh.
So that's what he does.
My whole goal, Sundown, is for my son to work for himself, right? So I told him, why don't he be a welding engineer so he can be the ones to secure contracts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But they have A&M doesn't have a program here, but they have some in Austin. They have some in different parts of Texas where he can get his engineering degree. So I don't even know if that's going to be worth it, because then you got to pay back a loan and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but that's the reason I want him to be his own boss. I really want him to work for himself. There's
a lot of minority, not scholarships, but there's a lot of minority programs to where he can go, and then they'll pay some of the costs for it. As far as like engineering, especially with welding. So, like I said, I have some friends that work in the oil field, and then I have another friend. He was a diver. But then he became an underwater welder.
Word? They got that too?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Welding is like vast, right? You can do that right?
Yeah. But underwater welding is the most dangerous one because you're underwater, you're wearing a pressure suit, and you're basically welding like pieces of the ship.
Damn, I know that's big money right there.
That's like 10,000, 11,000 a month.
Really?
$100 an hour, but you can only do it for like.
Mm-hmm.
You can only do it for like 6 years because the pressure you're underwater is so much. Yeah, mess with your body, your organs and stuff. But they said the number one reason people die from doing that underwater welding, they drown.
Get out.
Not from you got somebody watching your back with a harpoon, with a spear gun for sharks and other animals and stuff underwater, but people drown.
Yeah, because you're supposed to let them, like, whenever you're starting to feel, they call it the bends. It's like when the you start to get bubbles in the blood. Like when you start to feel that, you're supposed to signal, because you have somebody that's watching you, and then they'll pull the thing and then they'll bring you up to the surface. I think a lot of people tend to try to fight through it.
They try to get the job done. This was like me. I'm welding now, and I could be welding something and I want to complete it, I want to finish it, but I could be getting burnt at the same time. But I know if I stop, then I'm gonna mess up my weld. So you just get in that mindset that you want to finish the job, even though your life is in danger. Like I got so many boils on my hands from getting burnt.
Oh man, my son's hands.
Well, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in school for it. I just started.
Okay.
I'm about to be in a couple months, or 2 more months, I'll be done.
I know about TIG welding, tack welding. I think it's tack welding. TIG.
Yeah.
And the one where it has like the string, you pull the trigger and the little thing comes out.
That's TIG.
The string. That's a TIG? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about TIG welding.
That's the last one that I gotta learn. That's the last one.
Oh, so you know about welding too, Sundown? You've done it?
Yeah, so a long time ago, before I joined the military, I was actually going to drop out of school and get a trade, and it was going to be with welding.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, so I had you talk about the Latinos and hip hop again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so.
I had it.
Right when I heard my son's school offer, I was like, "Oh yeah, we got it." Because no kids graduate nowadays with any trades. They don't do that in high school anymore. Or maybe
Yeah,
they don't.
not up here. Not up here. Not up
Yeah,
north.
exactly. They don't. He got home
But he got
economics. They don't teach up north.
he'll had an upper hand though. Like, man, that's good. I wish they had that up here for us, because then I wouldn't have to
Hell
pay
yeah.
all this money to go and learn something that I could have learned for free in high school.
Yeah. So they got this thing called the Hazelwood Act, and it's kind of like the GI Bill for the military. If you enlist out of the state of Texas, you get the Hazelwood Act, and it's free college as well. And I was gonna, yeah, I was gonna use that to get a trade, either in HVAC or welding. Because, like, man, yo, Morena, your son is gonna be way ahead of the curve, especially with welding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, you can go to a motorcycle shop, you can become an auto mechanic,
Airplane.
you can go to the oil fields, you can do HVAC.
That's what I'm saying. That the type of jobs that he can get, like, he shouldn't have any excuse of not
No,
to get
Not
work.
at all. Yo, one of my best friends, his father works for the bus company here in Philly, and he welds on the tracks. Like, you know how y'all got the subway in New York, so they just do the welding on the track. He started out, he was working there for years, making like $45, $50 an hour. Now he's a supervisor, and he's making $76 an hour as a supervisor.
Wow.
And he told me
that's good money.
once I graduate, he can get me in there.
Nice.
Yeah, you got construction companies.
Mm-hmm.
You got construction company, auto mechanics, or auto body shops, motorcycle shops.
Work on bridges,
HVAC.
ships. Yeah, all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
like everybody needs welding, because welding is one of those things where you got to know somebody that knows somebody to get you in the door to actually get the welding certifications. So if he's a teenager and he has those welding certifications, that's going to put him ahead of people that's my age.
I gotta figure. Let me see if I can figure out what he's grad. I'm gonna tell you in a second. Let me just find out. Because I know that he got this far, and they were trying to say that when he got his schedule, that they didn't have room for him in the class, and I was like, because he has to go to another school so he can get the hands-on training now to get that certification. And I was like, what? I said, oh no, that is not acceptable. I said,
Yo, he could do power lines too. He could do the welding for the power lines.
Remember what I told you? Did I tell you, Miranda, the pipeline, working on the pipeline like in Alaska or in Texas?
Offshore. Yeah.
They make $150 an hour. Like,
I want to thank you. I feel like I'm so glad that I'm pushing him to do something like, because I said I know this might not.
They put him in trailers. They put them in trailers. They got trailers, and they give them stipends for to get like food and stuff, and they making $150 an hour, like welding on the pipelines.
Yeah, like yo, they can make, especially like when you start to talk about. He probably wouldn't be able to do this right now. He would need to get the experience, but like the offshore oil rigs,
yeah.
That's $160,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, welding, like that's what I was gonna do. Like I told you, I was gonna drop out my auto mechanic teacher. He was gonna help me get the welding certifications, because I was gonna go to a trade school. But he was like, man, if you want to make money, learn how to weld. If you can spot weld. Like he had me doing the test where it'd be like two little metal pieces, and he would be like, hey, weld these two pieces together, and we'll see how, good you can do it, and we'll just build you from there. So that way, when you go to trade school, you'll have some sort of experience when you get there. But that's what I was going to do, is welding.
Hold on, let me
see. One of the old instructors at my school, he used to weld for NASA. Like
that is a lost art right there. Yo, that's crazy.
He's the weld for NASA. Just imagine, he's the weld for NASA. He's making money.
Yeah.
He was showing us some of his paychecks. He showed us some of his old pay stubs.
And Alim, like I was saying that I've said that on so many streams. I was like, yo, it's so many certifications. You don't necessarily have to go to college.
Nope.
You can go learn, like I said, learn plumbing, you can learn HVAC, you can learn the construction game, you can learn how to weld.
My brother-in-law, he's an electrician, man. My sister went to school for psychology. She got her master's in psychology. She was like, he make more money than her, and he went to trade school. He's an electrician.
So. Yeah, I was telling my homeboy because I retired in a little under 3 years.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, well, with my clearance and all that stuff, I was gonna go to school and then I was gonna try to get on with the CIA. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, learn how to go get a trade. You'll spend half the money and you'll make more coming out the gate. So I was, like I said, I was going to fall back on either welding or HVAC.
Well, where are you at now? You in Texas still? You in Texas?
Well, I'm not in Texas right now. I'll be in Texas the end of this, the middle of next month.
They have so many good, because all the YouTubers that I watch, like on YouTube, that do welding tech tutorials and stuff like that, they're all out of Texas. There's so many welding schools in Texas. I was sending Raina some to show her son. It's a lot of good schools down there.
You want to know why Texas has so many welding schools?
Why?
It's because so many oil fields are in Texas.
Oh, that's true. That's
all those dudes, like, especially when you start talking about like West Texas, you're in South Texas, but like West Texas, that's where all those oil fields are. And a lot of people, once they get those welding certification, that's exactly where they go. Okay, out in the oil field.
That makes sense now. That makes sense.
He gets a CTEC certification.
That's good. That's good. That's good. But
what is that?
It'll still be good for him to go to like an actual school though, to get more experience. Because the more he does it, the better he'll get like at it.
Well, he's getting the hands-on now. So they said that he would be ready to work somewhere. Maybe not a big job like what you guys are talking about, but he'll be ready to work with what he's getting.
Oh no, he'll get picked up by an oil field for sure.
Yeah. Because he's never going to get the experience that you would actually get on a job. At least he'll have,
Yeah.
Something. But
yeah. Your son will be 18.
He's ready.
He'll be 18.
Making like $35 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Like your son will be 18, 19, making his first job, his first actual job. If he was to go that welding route and they put him on with a good oil field, he'd be starting out 60, 70.
And that was the whole point. My whole point was that I want him to be able to be financially independent, right? And I told him, I want you to be...
take care of yourself. To be able to take care of yourself.
Yes, and I want him to, I said, and I want you to work for yourself, and however you want to live will determine how much effort you're going to put into it. Like, if you want to be live a lavish lifestyle, then you're going to have to put in a lot of work. And if you just want to be comfortable, like let's say we're comfortable, then you know how much effort you need to put into it. So at least, I still wanted to put him in and we talked about this, so I don't know if he's going to do it or not, because he says yes, but he'll probably not. But I want him to go to barber school too. I want him to have multiple streams of income, right? Yeah. And if he decides to go to college, then at least he'll have two things, under his belt that he can use to make money. I mean, everybody's always going to need a haircut. And from what you guys are telling me now, welding, I mean, maybe
you can buy that. You can buy the equipment, like the you can go to Home Depot. I don't know if y'all have Lowe's down there, but you can buy stuff. It's not even that expensive. Like, you can buy one of the machines, Sundown, that does MIG, flux, and stick for under $500.
Shit,
and
you just gotta get your CO2. You just gotta get your CO2. And you can rent those.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, like, with him, he can get those minority. He can get like one of those minority sponsorships, and they'll pay for that equipment.
So where do I look for that at? I'll find it. Don't worry. The minority sponsorships he's talking about.
Like the minority sponsorships. So all you got to do is so you can find a school that offers welding, right? And they'll tell you a list of companies or a list of sponsorships that they can get. So like if you are, say, African American, there are certain sponsor groups out there that will give you loan, or they won't loan the equipment, but they'll put down the money for that equipment for you if you need. So like my homeboy, when he the one I was telling you about that was the paramedic for the fire department, when we were talking about the pharmacy. So he had one of those minority sponsorships to where they paid for all of his EMT equipment, the books, the clothes, the medical equipment. They paid for all of that. He didn't have to come out of pocket for that. So each school will tell you the sponsors that they have. So all you would have to do is be like, hey, my son is Hispanic or my son is African American.
Both. I can capitalize on both.
Yeah, and they'll tell you, okay, well, there's this, and there's that, and he can apply for X amount, and the company will get back with you, and they'll be like, hey, your son is African American. We can offer you this. We'll pay this percentage of it, and go from there. Because that's what my homeboy did. He didn't have to pay a single thing for any of his medical stuff for EMT school.
Right. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna definitely look into that. Alim, though, I want to go to the Ratchet stream right now. So it's well, Alim, you hear me? Alim?
I think he went on mute.
Oh, I'm about to go to Radical Latino stream.
All right, I'll see you there.
All right, I sent him a message though, Alim. Damn, I don't want to just leave him like that. But I gotta go. Alim.